do a test, audio test.
I love to have one of my own someday.
Thanks. She's 9 months. Say hi.
Oh, I was talking about your USAA bumper sticker. I've tried everything to get a membership.
Yeah. My dad served in the Marines. He passed
Akalon
away
says the
6 years ago.
commies need to win out, so the Browns need to ruin it for them.
That's a lucky
That's what we're playing for. Spoiler.
That's Gronk.
Oh, the I'm special guy.
USAA, it's for the military community and their families.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you can still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grill right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Did I mention the Groove Belt is the best belt in the world?
It's the best belt in the world.
It's the best belt in the world. I can't stop doing this. I did? Well, did I mention you can get yours at groovelife.com?
She's in here.
Robust. They're working on a cure.
You get it. And you said everything about it.
There's always something bad out there. Infected, raiders, clickers.
After all we've been through, there's no halfway with this. We got a job to do. We finish what we started.
The greatest threat to that ranch.
Hangover? No, I didn't really even drink that much.
We'll remove the threat.
Tonight, on the mid-season finale of Yellowstone.
I got something to ask you, Casey. I need his help. I need it from all of you.
Governor Dutton has violated state law. The Attorney General's office is seeking impeachment.
He has declared war upon us.
I'm aware, Beth.
Yellowstone mid-season finale. Only on Paramount Network.
We need a small business loan fast. I got this.
Loan cannon!
There's a better way to get a fast small business loan. Go to ondeck.com.
The Brown Tiger says calling it 4 sacks between Clowney, Garrett, and Winfrey. That'd be nice. That'd be really nice. Appreciate the super chat to Brown Tiger. Make sure y'all give Brown Tiger a shout out in chat.
Always right, never wrong.
We got 175 in here right now. Let's make sure y'all all hit that like button so this stream gets shared more and more. So please don't be afraid to hit that like button, y'all. Game's about to start.
Unseasonably warm January days, you see Ron Rivera getting Carson Wentz ready to go, and then he comes over to Taylor Heineke. They're making the transition back from Taylor Heineke, who had started each of the last 9 games, back to Carson Wentz, who started the first 6. Down the field to learn more with Christina Pink.
Yeah, another QB shuffle, Adam, for Washington. But Ron Rivera went straight to the point when he talked to Carson Wentz this week. He said, "We believe in you, and we're going to start you." And that's really all he needed to hear. Now, Carson permanently had 2 screws in the ring finger on his throwing hand. But he told us, physically, I feel good. This is probably the freshest I've ever felt in December. And he's also now got a fresh perspective on this offense after watching Taylor Heineke go to work from a distance.
Rex Fortune says, I ordered some jerk chicken for the game. I know it'll be good because they answered the phone saying, who the hell you want? Yeah, it's probably going to slap. The ruder the customer service, the better the food is probably. It's a good rule of thumb.
They could even be eliminated today, though, with a loss, and if Detroit and Green Bay both win.
All right, Browns get the ball first. Oh, we're wearing all white.
For the Commanders, who won the toss in the third, and
This could be a disaster. Happy New Year, Q. Hoping the Browns defense doesn't get scattered, covered in smothered double chunk dice, and laced by Carson Wentz like hash browns at a Waffle House. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what's up with this defense today.
There's no question about it. They've got a great offensive line. This is truly the strength of their football team, and they're going to lean on the big guys up front.
Big Chubb splits out wide as Deshaun Watson in his 5th start goes to work. And throws incomplete, looking for Donovan Peoples-Jones. Coverage from Kendall Fuller there.
I hate when they stretch the aspect ratio just to fit the ticker in. Just cut the bottom of the screen off. Yeah, I got you.
4 years in Houston. This is a true West Coast offense under Stefanski, so there's some learning curve going on for Watson.
We'll drop back to throw again and set up the
Okay, we got that.
Chubb,
Here you go.
the outstanding Cleveland running back, picks up a first down. Dozen yards out to the 37. You said the offensive line for Cleveland is its strength. Washington's strength on defense is its defensive line, and Chase Young plays
226. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Boy, this defensive line of Washington is absolutely their strength. Not a bad player there. John Allen, Deron Payne, Montez Sweat, Chase Young. And the Browns get a good one broken off here.
A lot of running room before somebody makes contact with him. He picks up 9 yards, running behind Wyatt Teller. So the secondary for Washington today is missing Benjamin St. Juste at cornerback. He's been in and out of the lineup the last several weeks with an ankle injury. And Cameron Curl, who did not play last week with an ankle issue against San Francisco, he is out again. So Danny Johnson at corner and Jeremy Reeves will be in at safety. Reeves, a Pro Bowler as a special teamer, is making his second straight start.
Oh, it's going to be a flag on Cleveland.
Chubb, and he gets wrestled down by Chase Young. They'll mark him shy of the line to gain with a penalty marker thrown on the play.
This is offsides.
Now, speaking of throwing, I mean, there's Chase Young.
Defense. There we go. First down.
So Sweat gets tagged with the penalty. It'll be a first down for Cleveland, but Chase Young's going to be a factor all game.
Yeah, but you mentioned the just throwing, right? I mean, you want to talk about throwing right here. Look at it inside. Get out of here. I mean, that Chase Young is so right hand. He's so fresh, but he's so powerful. I mean, and complete total. You watch him on film. Complete total confidence in that reconstructed knee.
Watson the throw. Pumps. Has to escape the pocket. Another penalty marker is thrown. Looks for a receiver in Njoku, and it's incomplete.
What's the flag there?
We'll check that.
It looks like a hold.
Bill Vinovich, our official.
That looks like a hold.
Holding.
Yep.
So that's a penalty against Joel Bitonio. The offensive line is really good, but they lead the NFL in holding penalties with 25.
Yep. Yep. On John Allen.
You just go back. They call that the hump move, right? You get him leaning outside, and then come back in with that strong inside arm and just toss him to the ground. And I mean, that's one of the best in the business in Bitonio.
One of the things the Browns' offensive line is going to have to learn is that that's not Baker Mayfield back there anymore. Like, you don't want to let guys through and be bad at your job, but you don't have to die on the hill holding. Like, he can make a play. Let him make the play.
First and 20. Watson back to the
Oh, come on, Harrison.
Bring up second down and very long. Watson a 1-for-3 start.
Well, this is one thing you don't want to be against Washington, and that's behind the chains, Adam. You get behind the chains.
Yeah, let's get 12 here.
Strong, physical, and it's quick because they can play coverage behind.
They just rotated some guys out. No Chase Young. All right, let's take a shot. Let's take a shot. Let's take a shot.
He can come out because he was out for so long. All those other guys now, a lot of work. They've had good seasons as well and been productive. Defensive back blitz coming. Watson gets pounded near the pocket and then ripped down.
All right.
Deron Payne.
Well, he tried to take the shot.
A career high season.
Yeah, I can't be mad. That's literally what I wanted him to do there. He takes the shot. Well, he doesn't take the shot. He holds the ball, gets back, doesn't get too deep in his drop. And, yeah, Pulisic just loses him one-on-one there with Deron.
He's got to take a few notes down there. That's what happens. Leave me one-on-one, I'll write you down. I'm writing your name in my notebook.
He got Deshaun Watson for his
Yeah. I mean, they rotated guys off the field. You wanted what? None of the starting edge rushers were out there. That was the opportunity to take a deep shot. You got to hold up there as you're the offensive line. And Kareem's not going to get a single goddamn thing here. Yeah, their defense is really good.
Looks like it did on this particular drive.
We always talk about being able to populate the ball and watch Bobby McCain come up here and set an edge. Even in the screen, we talk about in the run game, put in the screen, set that edge, drive it back into the pursuit, and there's Sweat, who always plays so hard, so physical, meeting and leading the charge.
So Corey Bojorquez will punt it
Can't
away.
get behind the sticks. Can't get behind the sticks. Jake says, Happy New Year, Q. Happy New Year to you too, Jake.
All the way back to the 5-yard line. That was a 65-yard punt. And Milne
I got him behind 20.
inside the 20-yard line by Dearness Johnson. Good defensive start.
All right. Yeah. I mean, look, the drive was moving pretty well until they got behind the sticks. They got to figure out how they're going to protect this a little better. Do they want to bring in an extra tight end, lose a receiver in the route? They got to make an adjustment there, right? Because the plan, what they started off with, just didn't work as far as protection goes. So, you know, they're not holding up well in the interior, even where they're strong with Posick and Joe Bitonio and Wyatt Teller. They're just not holding up right now. So, one, those guys have to win their battles more often, right? Because what was that? That drive was that last four plays there. They just lost on the line of scrimmage, completely lost on the line of scrimmage. Jonathan Allen does a hump move, forces Joe Bitonio to hold when he didn't have to hold because Deshaun could have evaded it. That's one thing that Joe's going to have to learn, but still gets the hold. That brings you back to 2nd and 10. I would have been, 3rd and 9 anyways. So it's not like you avoided much. But you get to 2nd and 10. Now, next thing you know, you take a sack, 3rd and 20. But that 2nd and 10, that 3rd and 10 could have been different because they took Chase off the field. They took Montez Sweat off the field for those couple plays. So maybe you're able to hold up and you don't have to take a deep shot, but an intermediate shot, maybe you can get that off in time. Stuff like that, man. Just falling behind the sticks, getting that deep behind, like it ruins drives for so many reasons. It's why you don't see a ton of successful drives going when you get those holding calls and when you get 10 yards behind the sticks. So you got to stay ahead of the chains. Eventually, the hope is Watson gets comfortable enough with this offense, comfortable enough with his pieces, that he can convert those 3rd and 20s, every once in a while, like you see a Justin Herbert or a Pat Mahomes do. But until you get to that point, you still want to play, fundamental football, right? You still want to stay ahead of the sticks. So, that's just where they're at. It's a bit frustrating. I don't know if people are freaking out about play calling, but I don't think the play calling was like egregious or anything like that. It just seemed like they fell behind the sticks, and when you fall behind the sticks, it's hard to call good plays because you're behind the sticks.
Curtis Samuel did not get sacked in that fourth quarter either. It's his first start since week 6 at Chicago when he broke the right ring finger on his throwing hand, needed surgery. Taylor Heineke started the last 9 games and led this team to a 5-3-1 record, but a winless December. Ron Rivera said he wanted a spark. Carson Wentz is in. And he gives it to Jonathan Williams to start the day for Washington's offense. And he'll pick up 4 yards.
Can't give up 4 and 5 yards on first down consistently.
These two teams, so we'll highlight the
Cannot keep doing that.
Terry McLaurin, as you might expect, one of the top receivers in the NFL, part of a trio of great wide receivers.
Well, he's going to the Pro Bowl, and it's not only about his just ability to get off, press, his ability to run great routes, but he's so strong at the point of catch. And I tell you what, he's developed into one of the finest receivers in football. And there's Ward, the best cover guy, lined up one-on-one with a little follow.
Pressure coming from Cleveland.
High, there we go.
Wentz a little bit too tall for the 5'11" Jonathan.
All right, get off the field here. Just get off the field here.
3rd and medium. Cleveland defensively, they have struggled against the run this year, but they've got 2 premier pass rushers.
So they're bringing in Perrion and Alex Wright here as their defensive tackles.
After not
Interesting.
last week against New Orleans, we're highlighting Denzel Ward because we get the feeling that he's going to be matched up with his old Ohio State teammate pretty often today.
Yeah, he wouldn't tell us.
Perrion switches up his swag every game.
He gave it away.
Okay, they're playing tight press. Tight press.
He tried to tell us a story.
Hey, watch under, watch under, watch under. Get hands up, hands up, hands up. Got it. There we go. It was right there. I knew he was going to throw right into it. I knew it. Right there.
Outside leverage, first of all. So
You play tight press. You know he's going to take the out the second he gets the opportunity to. You could just hop it. He's so predictable. Carson Wentz is so predictable.
Middle of the football field, but that is just a poor decision by Carson Wentz and a great pick. I believe that ties.
Dude, he reads plays like Madden. Like, that's so predictable.
Right there, right off the bat, mano a mano, your best versus our best. Cleveland 1, Washington 0.
And back-to-back rough passes by Wentz, including the pick, and the crowd is already a little riled up. Cleveland takes over at the plus 36 after the takeaway. Watson off the fake, step it up. And he's got
Here you go, Harrison.
Bryant, who's had a
Get down.
career season.
There you go.
Third year out of FAU, the fourth
Let's get rolling.
has a first down for a 12-yard gain inside the 25.
Well, that's your pre-snap look if you're the quarterback right there. You know anytime you get that single high look, you should have free access to the outside, not outside the numbers, and you run the little flat route to your tight end, and that's just like stealing. Harrison Bryant gets that 12-yard gain.
The 24. Watson with the pocket collapsing launches away. Pulls this man
And
to it.
miscommunication or
Was Amari
something.
Cooper, and he had Danny Johnson in coverage.
Well, what do you got? You got edge pressure. You know both guys, all four of these defensive linemen in their rotation. Hill right there, coming off of one edge, Sweat coming off the other edge. Like, you understand that you gotta be able to protect inside because of both Allen and Deron Payne. Well, guess what? You can't double team everybody, right? So those edges become important. Now you got to think about chipping. Now you got to think about protecting those edges against these great pass rushers.
Ball play for Nick Chubb.
All right, getting the third and short.
Solid job of bringing him down.
Now you're in field goal range.
Jeremy Reeves. 5 yards for Nick Chubb, who comes in third in the NFL in rushing this year. He's seeking his first rushing title. He wants it, and his offensive line wants it.
He's got for such a big, powerful man, he's got the ability, what we used to call present a narrow silhouette, right?
Yeah.
He can almost get gelatinous, and then he's got the power to run you over and the power to take it to the house. The speed, I should say, to take it to the house.
You got it.
3rd and 5. Watson.
Oh.
Joker, and it's broken up, incomplete. Danny Johnson, who's making just his third
Catch the
start of
freaking
year.
ball, David.
Your man out of Southern, an undrafted free agent stepping up.
Yeah, why can you cut this underneath? Because you got a safety over the top. You see him come into the screen right there. You know you got help. So when you've got help, use it. Right? Funnel the guy where you want him. Go make that play by Danny Johnson.
So that'll
All right, make the kick.
Try for Cade York, who started the year 8 for 8. He is 15 for his last 23. This from 47 for the rookie out of LSU. And Cleveland takes advantage of the Denzel Ward takeaway. And they tag 3 points on the board. Wentz the pick. A rough start to his return. An impressive.
Yeah, Carson Wentz is still Carson Wentz, man. Every year, people convince themselves that Carson Wentz is not who Carson Wentz has always been. He is the new, like Tony hit it on the head on AFC North Talk. He is the new Sam Bradford. Every year, people convince themselves that this Carson Wentz thing, it's going to finally work out. He's not going to get injured. He's not going to make boneheaded plays. He's not going to turn the ball over a ridiculous amount. He's going to redeem that potential that everybody saw in him early in his career. It's almost been 10 years, man. Like, it's been such a long time since Carson Wentz was seen as like a future, high caliber quarterback. It's been so long. But every year, some coach, some scout talks himself into it. Because he's 6'5", and he can run 4.5. And he can throw like the wind. But traits don't make a quarterback sometimes. Sometimes a quarterback makes the traits. We got about 400 people in here. Make sure y'all hit that like button. those of you wondering why I'm behind, it's because of Sunday Ticket.
The Macedonia, Ohio native went to his second Pro Bowl last year. Gets the pick against.
Hey, by the way, shout out Joe Woods for finally playing third, and finally on the third and medium, playing some press man instead of quarters.
Deshaun Watson, 3 for 7 for 23 yards on the first 2 short series. Carson Wentz 0 for 2 with that pick. Antonio Gibson is out today, so Jared Patterson with his first return in the NFL. Former Buffalo Bull in college, sprints his way past the 20. So Carson Wentz, Taylor Heineke, obviously both guys have positives, both have some negatives. Give me your scout.
Yeah, well, when it comes to size, obviously that's Carson Wentz. Check mark there.
How to Live says, can you imagine if we had a D-line like the Commanders? We'd probably be talking about a lot more than next year if we had that interior.
There's a throw you don't think you got to stay off of, and that got him in trouble with that first interception.
Brian Robinson is in the game. Rookie who's been outstanding. Coming back from the gunshot wounds. Well-documented story.
All right, good stop.
Pick up a yard on this play. Good job by Myles Garrett to wrap him up. I was looking back at that last pick. He basically eyeballed McLaurin the whole way.
Yeah, that's where you wanted to go to, and obviously Ward has that outside leverage, so you know, even trying to get that outside.
Yeah, Ward baited him.
The ability to undercut that. I mean, that's one you got to stay off of right off the bat. You got, hey, I can't get that ball to the outside.
That's how we got Joe Burrow on Jamar Chase last year.
And obviously Wentz didn't get that
for that pick 6. Good tackle, Greg.
Newsome is there.
All right, get him off the field.
And Tony Fields. Wrapping him up. Third down coming up. So is Carissa Thompson with the game break, CT.
Thank you, Adam. So as you know, the Panthers win today. Next week they win the NFC South opening drive.
Hey, Sam Darnold been low-key kind of cooking.
Panthers up on the box early, 700. Adam?
Somebody's got to win that race, and opportunity for Carolina to do it. Tampa Bay wins the NFC South. If they win today, Carolina wins out. They take it.
Oh, they're going empty, wide.
On 3rd and 7. Quick throw.
Good throw.
It's a first down to the big tight end, Logan Thomas, who had a season-high 6 grabs last week in the Bay Area. He picks up 11 yards for a first down.
Well, it starts right here. We're going to run some games, trying to pressure the quarterback, and he's going to hit this quick dart right to the tight end. Just put it on the body of the tight end. Understand my tight end's bigger than your DB. Let me get that first down.
What's the point? What's the point?
The 36, it's Robinson, a rookie out of Alabama. Takes it to the 40-yard line. Myles Garrett on the stop. Robinson now playing his 12th consecutive game, about 4 months removed from the shooting that took place before the season began. He was wounded in his leg in that shooting. Played his first game against Tennessee on October the 9th. Made his first start against Chicago a few days after that. And we were here about a month ago when he had his first career 100-yard rushing game. The big hat game, as we like to call it now. What a story for Brian Robinson. We got a chance to talk with him yesterday. And it was a very emotional conversation as he relayed to us the harrowing tale of when he was attacked and shot.
Good run.
Pushing the pile, still going. Down into Cleveland territory at the 49. It's an 11-yard churning run for the rookie.
And Adam, this is what he does. I mean, this is where he's at. He is the actuator of this offense. They're just going to run a little counter system, pull a couple offensive linemen to the right, and then just say, get downhill and put your bean on people. He is so powerful. And he's really, to me, he's changed the entire attitude of this offense. He really has. Just the way he's run, the physicality he's run with has really changed. And they're looking forward to Carson Wentz getting that opportunity to have that kind of offense.
Right back to Robinson.
Don't over pursue.
For a good game.
They're starting to over pursue. That's the problem.
Carson Wentz, the
Just be patient. You don't got to move that fast.
Brian Robinson wasn't really truly established. Wentz got hurt in that Thursday night game a few months back against Chicago. Now he's got this weapon at his disposal.
Right, so you don't have to do it all. You don't have to force the ball like we saw early in this game. Rely on that running game. Rely on that clock. Churn out yardage, and then set up your play action and take your shots when you can, because you know you're going to get these single high safety looks right here on a consistent basis when you run the ball well.
Right back to the ground. This is
There you go.
Justin Williams.
There you go. You don't got to over pursue.
Grant Delpit is a really good safety who can play coverage or play in the box against the run game. He makes the stop.
Yeah, and he's going to be down there inside 22 all day long because of just the style. You know, Washington leads the league in time of possession, which tells you what? We're going to run the ball. We're going to lean on you, and we're going to try to wear your defense out. So Delpit is a guy that's going to have to be in there, involved in the running game, stopping the running game throughout this game.
He is the leading tackler. In fact, the top two leading tacklers for Cleveland are in the secondary. Not always a good sign. Williams is their second back with Gibson.
Oh, wow. No, that's dead. That's dead. That's short. Chris Gustafaro says, any New Year's resolutions for me?
Last week at San Francisco after Gibson left. Gibson's been
I haven't really thought about it. Not really.
So Williams is getting most of those.
What about y'all?
Robinson remains the lead.
What about y'all? What's y'all New Year's resolution? They gonna go for it?
You gotta love this offensive line. Here's the big decision. Now, listen, me personally, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of going for it. I don't like it. Maybe you try to draw them off, but I'm just not a fan, especially this early, chasing the game, chasing points.
Understanding it from the plus 40.
Got it, baby.
It's going to be a stop. Washington had chances last week on fourth down. Riverboat Ron was showing himself again, trying to get
There you go.
spark plays. Was looking for one here, and none doing. Greg Newsome, the Sprite defensive back, first man in there.
All right, defense. Good shit. Way to stell up. Doing some interesting stuff with Alex Wright. Yeah, but they're using Alex Wright as a 3-tech right now with Perion Winfrey when he's in there, and they're using it on second and third down. So that must be what they feel like is their best pass rushing set of defensive tackles out there. And it seems like Winfrey's out there an awful lot. Okay, Rex says, who has a bigger 2023, Ricky Starks or Swerve? I would say Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks out there cutting promos like The Rock. I mean, he's destined for something great. But yeah, it's interesting how they're using him. Now let's see if this offense can finally get things going in the direction that they want to. And that will be something that's, ooh, goodness gracious. That will be something that's helpful.
To remind you to drink responsibly.
NFL fans, you can start 2023 off the right way. Chance to win $100 grand of Terry Bradshaw's money on Fox Super 6. You can download the free Super 6 app and then enter your 6 picks in the NFL Sunday Challenge for a chance to win big. Carson Wentz for his career on 3rd and 1 converts almost 90% of the time. 4th and 1 almost 85%. They didn't have Wentz sneak it, and they didn't have Robinson in there.
Not Robinson in. They've been running it right down the gut. Now all of a sudden we're going to try to get to the edge with our backup running back. Like two bad decisions, right? You've been beating them up. use that hammer in there, get Brian Robinson in there, and run it downhill. Not east and west. You got to go north and south on those short yardage games.
Robinson is 13 for 17 on 3rd and 4th and 1 in his rookie season.
Good run. Good run.
What a move that was to get ahead of scheme.
There you go, Chubb. That's looking like himself.
Glory takes it inside the 45 of Washington.
Well, I tell you, you want to talk about combination blocking. Watch the work. Guard, tackle right here, working it down. All the way to
Jet Wills, great block. Good job, DPJ.
Batonio, and then all of a sudden I've got a wide open space, and that's got to be frightening. When you see that coming down at you, you're Derek Forrest. You see that coming downhill. I mean, listen, you guys are braver than me. I guarantee you that.
Got it again. Got it again. Uh-oh, he's gone. He's gone, is he? There we go. Nick Chubb back to being Chubb today.
This has been the game plan for Cleveland often. A lot of Chubb early, and they're getting it done.
Right, just come down here, create an edge, and then get everybody.
There we go. Look, decisive downhill. He's not stutter stepping a ton. He's not hesitating down that cut anymore. He's just trying to take what's there. Now the plays are coming to him. It's been what he's been struggling with for the last 3-4 weeks. It's like, hey, he's trying to make too much happen in too little time. They got Coop in the backfield. Are they going to run the angle?
35-yard run for Chubb. Now Watson.
No, he's still up.
Somehow still on his feet. Being chased by David Mayo. And Watson never went down. He did lose yardage on the play. F.A. Obata kind of looked like he kind of gave up on the play. Maybe he thought it was going to be the whistle closing the play out.
Wow, how does he avoid this sack? Look at this. Yeah, the guy gets him. I mean, dead to rights. And he's just.
Look at him turn around and look. He thought Watson threw it. He still had it in his hands. Like a magician. And look at that. I mean, look at the fight right here.
Watson is strong for a guy his frame.
Right back to the ground. Now it's Kareem Hunt. He surges ahead. Down to the 6-yard line. That's a pretty good number 2 back to have. Almost 500 yards in the season this year.
Well, Adam, we talked before the game about the strength-on-strength matchup of these two teams. The defensive line of Washington, that offensive line, that running game of Cleveland. And that's just one of true right here, down here in the red zone, coming off the ball. This is just, I mean, this is just old-time football.
1-on-1.
Watson on 3rd and goal. Flushed out, still looking. Nothing there, and he will just take it out of bounds to set up a short field goal. Deron Payne chased him out of bounds. Good coverage in that short.
Yeah, so I think he wanted Njoku here.
You're
He had him.
just whoever comes in your area.
Why did he get off of him? He had him. He had Njoku. He had him. That's the second time he's not taking the corner in the red zone. It's right there, man. He had him.
Forcing the field goal.
York has already been good from 37. This will be from 25.
Please don't tell me he misses this. Okay.
Back-to-back field goal attempts, but we got a flag on the far side at the 5-yard line. This might be against Washington for being maybe a neutral zone. There was goal to go.
Offside. Defense number 47. Half the into the goal. We play 4th down.
So now the decision gets a little bit more interesting because it was 4th and goal from the 7.
Okay.
Now you got 4th and goal from inside the 5. And Kevin Stefanski has been as aggressive
It's at the
as
2.
any head coach in the NFL. Tied for the most 4th down attempts in the league and right up there in terms of conversions, better than 50% this year.
I think the thing you always have to remember about this, in this area of the football field, you're really running against 12 because you got that extra defender in the back of the end zone, so it makes it hard. And I hate being in shotgun in these situations because ultimately
Nah, you're not. You're not close enough to being like single or something like that. Mm. All right, you got him backed up at the 1 still. That's fine.
Tell you, quarterback draw, you got these guys, defensive.
Oh, it's there.
They're so savvy. And watch Chase Young come back off that block. He doesn't go.
Yeah, Deshaun's been late today. He's not been as on time as he was the last couple weeks. He's been late. Late there on the jump. Yeah, late there on the sneak. It was there. He was late to get to the cut, so the lane that opens up in the middle for him closes. He has to do a cut around it. It's not going to be there. And then he was late on that corner to David Njoku, late on a couple throws today. He's just been late all first quarter. Hopefully he gets that together. But you're playing a field position game here too, right? You keep the ball at the 2. Hopefully you force a 3 and out, or you can get 2 points here, and then you get the ball back in favorable field goal range, or you get a safety kick, right? Like that's the kind of idea that they're going for.
Just a little extra wrinkle there. Back and forth first quarter with some interesting calls, some interesting plays, but just 3 on the board.
At Domino's, next time you order 2 medium 2-topping pizzas for $6.99 each, you could be in for a shock. Because Domino's is now delivering pizza with new electric vehicles across the country. With hundreds of EVs on the road today and hundreds more to come, it's good for pizza delivery and better for the planet. Good. I'm great.
Let me see. I have a feeling chat's like, why didn't Chubb run the ball there 4 yards out on the 4th down? A design QB run 3 yards out is a normal play call. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it was just stopped. Yeah, Deshaun's been late all first quarter. That's the problem that's been going on with the offense. You know, I think Chubb's been hitting well. He's been less hesitant. For whatever reason, Deshaun's not seeing stuff as clear as I felt like he was seeing it the last couple weeks. Dom the Legend says primetime Chubb. Yeah, Chubb's been good today. Because he was late. That corner, look, when David Njoku ran, that corner route was there for him. He needs to trust that and throw it. That's the second time, too, because there was one to Amari Cooper last week in the red zone where I'm like, he could have made that. So that's something. And that's the same thing with Jacoby Brissett, right, when he wasn't doing it. So maybe they're being coached out of that corner, but it was there. So I don't know why they would be being coached out of it. But he kind of bailed out the pocket before David could make his cut. David had it. David knew it too. He knew it before the ball was snapped. He was pointing like, hey, man, I'm probably going to be open here on this corner. Didn't throw it for whatever reason. Needs to throw that. I mean, it's 2 touchdowns left on the board from the last 3 weeks at least. And then, yeah, that QB draw, I felt like that was a great play call because it opened up immediately. He sold the fake too long. Or maybe it wasn't a QB sneak and he just decided to run it. I mean, not a QB sneak, a QB draw, and he just decided to run it. I would have to see the All-22 to see if they actually ran a play. Was it some kind of option draw kind of thing? Or was this a design draw? Because if it was a design draw, he was way too late on the cut. Way too late. And it looked like a design draw, or at least had that draw kind of in there. It was there. He was late on the cut. He had to cut around his center and his guard, and that put him in a bad position to try to score. So, I mean, like, the play call was fine. The execution, I think, by Watson has been lackluster this quarter. It's like trying to make Watson the Watson show. No, it has to be the Watson show, right? Like, he's just sluggish today. And sometimes quarterbacks come out the gate and they're a little sluggish. You know, like, even when he's back, even if he had like 5 touchdowns last week, sometimes quarterbacks just start off slow. They don't have, like, they're not robots. They're not going to have the greatest game of all time every time. So he's just starting off slow. The offense is going to have to be the Watson show eventually. I mean, he is a large portion of this team's cap. So that's just what it's going to have to be. That's what you traded for him for. You didn't trade for him to be a game manager, right? Get off the field here, get the field position, and then score. Ah, shit. Free play.
There are 2 flags now on the play. One back at the line of scrimmage for the neutral zone, and then one at the 20-yard line or so, where Ward and McCoy
Offset,
were
offset,
for
offset,
position.
offset, offset. Please offset.
This could end up being 5 yards regardless, and a fresh set of downs. We'll see.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the defense. Offside.
That's decline.
On penalty decline. Holding. Defense number 21. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So the offsides is on Perion Winfrey. That would be a strict 5-yard penalty. It would be 3rd down and short. Here, this penalty on Ward, because it's a defensive holding before the pass, is 5 yards, but a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, we talked about, first off, why do you want to do the hard count inside the 5? Well, because it doesn't hurt you as much as it hurts them. So they got the hard count, they got the jump, but then they got the holding call and a fresh set of downs.
So you pointed out the cadence on the first down play, all the way at the other end at the end of the first quarter. They mixed it in again and got the result. Fresh set of downs.
Jeez.
Wentz has thrown a few off target to start the day, and here come the fans.
Is there something like, is it like humid or something? Like, why do both quarterbacks look so stank right now?
You receive this ball, right? And that is just licking his fingers right there. I mean,
he told us the right ring finger is really not an issue, and it didn't look like it at all in the 4th quarter last week. It must have just slipped out of his hand there.
well, I'll tell you who it's an issue for right now is these fans. It's an issue for them, not for Carson.
They are restless. Back to the running game.
Ooh, good tackle, Reggie Ragland.
Big hit from Reggie Ragland, who's playing just as
He's been getting in them gaps today, man. He's been thumping. He's been getting his money's worth today. He has been thumping. Big thumper.
Yeah, he's not going to be great in coverage.
Yeah, but he is a thumper. Look at that, boy.
Robinson is the physical running back, but he met his match there against Reggie Ragland.
signed off the Las Vegas practice squad, now making his 2nd straight start. Williams is in on 3rd down and 7 next to Wentz, just off the end of the line. He chips on Garrett. Wentz deep shot.
Nah. Picked off. Honestly, is that better than a punt? About the same as a punt.
A rocky Carson Wentz starts to say the least. Underthrown for Samuel. Easy pickings for the pick for Delphin.
Wanted for hazardous journey. Long months of complete darkness. Constant danger. Safe return. Doubtful.
Yeah, Grant Delpit's been playing very good.
Honor and recognition. In case of success.
Yeah, Grant does a great job undercutting it. I think Carson just throws it deep, thinking, hey, man, what's the worst that can happen to get picked off? That's about the same as a punt. So, yeah, I think that was just saved us some time, you know what I mean, with the arm punt. But, yeah, Grant's been where Grant's been great has been especially in run defense. Like, every time this year, especially in the second half when the run defense really went bad, every time there's been a good play in the run in run defense, it's literally been Grant Delpit. You know what I mean? Literally been Grant Delpit. So Grant's been killing it. No, I don't think away crowds are, because honestly, Washington's not really thinking about Deshaun as much as they're worried about booing Carson Wentz. Like, this isn't a hostile environment. I just think he's just sluggish today for whatever reason. Again, there's not, like, there doesn't have to be a grand conspiracy every time a player starts off bad. Like, sometimes guys just have slumps. or guys that start off a little slow and they heat up in the second half or they heat up in the second quarter. Like, you know, it's just football. Nobody is playing at their top level 100% of the time. Even Tom Brady. Like, guys come in and out. You know what I mean? It's just the nature of the game.
Run down the middle of the field. This is what they call a buck cover 2, okay? So he's running down the middle of the field with the slot receiver. Now right here, you got this double. Use your vision and get your check down. Right here, it's wide open. You don't do it, you force the ball with that arm talent we talked about down the field. Easy pick by Delpit.
Oh, he gave it to his mama.
Your #1 fan.
That's awesome. But that's what Carson told us the other day. When you call shot plays, you have to be willing to go to the check down because of the pass rush at the back end. Didn't do it that time. Forced it. There's Watson trying to escape the pocket with nothing downfield.
Yeah, his feet don't look live.
Excellent coverage by Washington, and then it's finished off by Montez Sweat. Chase Young got the initial quarterback pressure on that play.
Chase Young, I mean, right here, he's going to get the initial pressure, and then Sweat with the effort just getting through there. Watch him. Keep working, keep working, keep working. Rip, swim, move, go, sack. I mean, that's exactly how you get those, and Chase Young is excited for his buddy, but at the same time, he's going.
Yeah, his feet. Like, look at his feet on that last play. They just weren't. They were slow. Like, he's not crisp right now with his footwork. Is it the natural grass? Like, what's wrong?
For Watson, already 4 sacks by Washington.
He need to switch cleats out. It might be his cleats because his feet look like they're like he's playing in the mud right now. And
factory lifted trucks. Where will they take you?
Just jumped to commercial for me randomly. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, his feet look slow right now. Again, man, I said this after the first game, the feet, right? The feet will tell you where everything else is going. You know, he had good feet in Cincinnati. I felt like his feet, well, he had better feet in Cincinnati. He had pretty good feet against Baltimore. And it showed. He was on time. The ball was accurate. He was making a lot of plays with his feet. Today, his feet just seem like they're in mud right now. Like, I don't know what's going on with that. And when your feet, slow read, slow ball, inaccurate balls. Like, that's just what's going to be. So he's got to figure out what it is, you know what I mean, and that's slowing him down right now because it just looks a little sloppy right now. I don't know if it's the turf. Maybe he needs to get some higher cleats screwed in, but he looks like he's a little sluggish right now. Yeah. Because I know what it looks like when he's not getting the stats, but he's playing well. He's not getting the stats, and it's kind of because he's not playing well.
Donovan Allen going to his 2nd straight Pro Bowl. He's at 7.5.
Yeah, now look at the feet here, right? They're technically fine, right? 1, 2, 3. It's just like look how he just like hard planted. Oh, somebody got hurt. Yeah, like he just like got flat-footed in the pocket. It's not. He's very active with his feet normally.
Arkansas into the game for Donovan Allen. 2nd down and long. Here's Chamba. And they'll take it to about the 49-yard line.
Cleveland's done a really good job of basically staying away from those middle defenders. Yeah, Allen we talked about, Payne we talked about. So they're using some pin and pull techniques to get that sweep going.
Or maybe because his cleats are taller, he's getting stuck in the mud. I don't know. Something's wrong with his equipment.
Hunt is in on 3rd down. Cleveland looking for its first conversion. Watson under pressure.
No, he's up.
Somehow still on his feet. He got away from Obata again. Chase Young went down and Adam couldn't bring him down. Obata trying to get him again. Watson finally gets rid
No,
of
to drop it.
He was tossing it towards a lineman.
He was trying to throw it out of
He ended up
bounds.
throwing it to his right tackle, Jack Conklin, and a flag is thrown after all of that.
Illegal touching.
There's no worse feeling than all of a sudden that ball coming at you in your offensive line. You're
Illegal
gonna get
touching.
pressure here,
Offensive
pressure here.
78.
Off
Following
the
the play.
edges.
Result of the play.
There it is, Obata coming inside, and that's the second sack Obata has missed, and then Chase Young almost gets him, and eventually our guy Watson just goes, oh, man, I'm tired of this. I'm just throwing to anybody in a white jersey. Anyone? 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 Jack Conklin goes, I want no part of this. No part. But the pressure, and again, Adam, they fake the blitz, but that's pressure with the front four once again, and that's one thing Washington does as well as anybody. They can get to you with just 4 guys.
So it's an illegal touch because Conklin's an offensive lineman who's not an eligible receiver.
Yeah.
So on that throw, it becomes an illegal touch against.
Good punt.
Excellent job on the punt by Bojorquez. That pins Washington and Wentz back down at the 4-yard line. A tough start for Wentz in his return.
It's been about the same offensively as it's been for the last 4 weeks. Just got to figure it out. Yeah. It has been about that offensively. One more half of that, and that's just what it's going to be. Like, and good thing is the pocket awareness. I mean, like, that's never going anywhere. He had that pocket awareness after 700 days off. He's playing bad right now. He still got that pocket awareness like crazy. Like, that man is strong. Like, Deshaun Watson is a very strong person. Like, I don't know what he benches, but he is strong. Yeah.
They were already chanting for Taylor Heineke during the last defensive Washington series. Cleveland's offense is out there. Neither quarterback, Wentz nor Watson, has been all that sharp. 5 for 14 combined with 2 picks and 4 sacks. Here's Robinson.
There you go.
Works his way to about the 8-yard line. Down the field we go in Christina.
By the way, 541 of y'all, make sure you hit that like button.
Between the 2 quarterbacks here on the Washington sideline.
Why no play action? Because the play action's been bad. Play action's been bad almost all year. I'd say since like week 6, it's been bad. I think they've thrown 3 touchdowns, 4 interceptions out of play action this year. Both quarterbacks.
So it looks like he could be okay.
Take a look at that on that next defensive series. Good stuff, JP. Second down, Robinson carries it and gets wrapped up by Fields and Johnson.
3rd and short. Let's get him off.
Noticed over the season of this Washington team, they have become a very tight-knit group. move. You see Chase Young coming over and encouraging Carson Wentz. We've seen this team a lot, multiple times over the course of a long period, and you can't deny the chemistry of the group.
And remember, those two spent a lot of time together in the training room rehabbing. Obviously, Young from his knee, Carson Wentz from the finger. So it's really hard. This is a tough situation to be in because you got to throw those two bad picks away, a couple of bad plays you've had, and you got to be able to continue to press on, and that's a hard thing to do.
I just broke the tackle. Good tackle by Tony. That's a huge tackle by Tony. That makes it a 5-yard gain. Yeah, you give up the first down, but that could have been so much worse. You could have blew field position right there.
But I'm telling you again, Adam, man, it is so hard, and I've been there before where you've had a couple of bad plays, and you feel like you let your team down, you feel like you let the fans down, you hear it from them, you just want to get back on track. It's hard to have the mental fortitude to just go, hey, throw it away, I can't do anything about it now, we got to move forward, and that's what Carson's trying to do right now.
It'll be a 4th consecutive Brian Robinson run to start this drive. Nothing doing this time as the Cleveland front led by Jadeveon Clowney is there for the stop. 15 rushes, 6 passes so far for this Washington offense. Scott Turner's upstairs calling the plays.
Well, one thing you know for sure, if you're running the ball like this and you're doing what Washington's doing, you're going to get 8 guys in the box. From tight end to tight end, you're going to have 8 guys down there. It means you're going to get a single safety. So on the outside, you're usually going to get one-on-one. They're showing 2 safeties, but don't be surprised when they rotate down.
2 high safeties this time against the pass, and a good connection.
All right, 3rd and short again. Let's get him.
Now starting to get the wide receivers involved. That's the other thing we haven't said a whole lot about Dotson, McLaurin, or Samuel as they try to get into it. And Joe Woods, the defensive coordinator for Cleveland, immediately, as many defensive coordinators have pointed out this year who have played Washington, that trio of receivers, you have to be aware of all of them.
Yeah, and that time he played coverage. He stayed in that too high look. He played off, and Carson Wentz took advantage of it. Dotson on the outside where he had that free access. So now you're right back into this 3rd down and short. Where's your running back?
Ah, I got it.
Gets the first down and takes it out past the 35 where Fields drags him down. Arion Winfrey, the rookie, with that big contact on Williams, but couldn't corral him.
Yeah, he's going to come down inside and watch the spin off. I mean, this is stuff in the backfield right here.
Yeah, he couldn't get his other arm out.
The 2nd time that Williams in a short
Should have been a hands to the face on Norwell.
they've gone to instead of Robinson, but he does a good job that time spinning back opposite of the direction he was going in and picking up that first down. I really like watching him. He has really run with some aggressiveness that I think he has seen from Robinson.
There's Robinson again. And out past the 40 as he picks up 4 yards. Chase Winovich there for the stop. Let's just give you a little snapshot with the 2 quarterbacks and what the offenses have looked like under these 2 guys. So the rushing attack started to get established right when Heineke was there. It wasn't really established when Wentz was starting early in the season.
Yeah, and that's a big difference. And right now, this is that grinded out kind of offense that they run. That's why they possess the ball. And this is one of those things that over time, over the course of the game, will just wear out a defense where 2 and 3 and 4 yard runs become 8, 9, 10 in breakouts.
Pressure coming from Cleveland. Wentz under
Got him.
pressure, and he gets swallowed up. Chase Winovich yet again. Been dealing with a hamstring injury. He was on IR for most of this season. He gets his first sack of the year and the first for Cleveland.
Yeah, and they're bringing pressure, and Winovich right here off the edge. He's just going to make the nice move. He gets the one-on-one right there. Nice hand swipe inside. He beats 2. He not only beats Leno, the left tackle.
That's Chase Winovich with the sack.
Robinson, the running back. So go ahead, dial him up. Thank you. Thank you. Great pass rush move.
All right, get off the field. 3rd and 17. Still got to get off the field. No penalties.
Patriot, former Michigan Wolverine. One of his eyes were on TV yesterday. 3rd and 17 now for Wentz. Out route, Dotson. He beats the rookie Martin Emerson Jr. for a huge first down on
3rd and 17.
Yeah, they always talk about his route running. Watch the top of this route. He's going to sell that inside dig. Bam.
And Martin. That's on Martin. You can't even blame Joe Woods for that. That's on Martin. He was in the right spot. He just didn't play it well. That's exactly what he's there for, is to cover that route. He just got beat.
Where that arm talent that we talked about comes in.
All those throws. Here's Williams. And a few yards on the ground there. G. Ragland on the tackle. Carson Wentz began his career back in 2016. He was the number 2 pick, of course, by Philadelphia. His NFL debut came against the Cleveland Browns in a 29-10 win. All the way back on September 11, 2016. His only other appearance against Cleveland came against Kevin Stefanski during Kevin's first season back in 2020. Cleveland, in a rain-soaked game, beat Philadelphia in Ohio. Here's a handoff for Brian Robinson, and another good run. Now Washington's ground game is getting going. It's a first down for Washington, and time for a game break with my buddy Carissa Thompson.
Thank you, Adam. Panthers up 7-0 in Tampa. Sam Darnold drops this one in the bucket. DJ Moore, 24-yard score. Panthers rolling 14-0 on the road against the Bucs. Adam.
They got the Saints next week. If they can win today and win next week, they're the champions.
There you go. Slow them down.
Denzel Ward undercut him, but he ends up picking up 4 more yards. There's the NFC South picture right now. Somebody, I invite any of you to win the division at this point. Saints are still alive after they beat Cleveland last week.
I don't know what it is about the South divisions, but it's yeah, somebody's got to win it, right? Feels like the NFC East a little bit last year.
And now look at the NFC East, an opportunity for perhaps every team from the NFC East to go to the playoffs. That's never happened in NFL history, where every team in one division goes to the postseason.
There you go.
There's Williams. 3rd down coming up on a drive that started all the way back at the 4-yard line with just under 12 minutes left.
Get him off here, man. Get him off here.
Working right now for Washington. 14th play of this drive is on its way. They had a 17-play drive last week that got stopped at the goal line. That was against that elite San Francisco defense. The Niners have won 8 in a row. They've converted 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, and a 3rd and 17 on this drive. It's 3rd down and 5. Rex throws, first down. Logan Thomas inside the 20 of Cleveland.
Bro. M's been great most of the year, but today he's having a clanker, dog.
When you're coming off the edge here, just get it out to that guy right off that blitz in that zone coverage, open in the middle there, just too easy.
They go with pressure, actually. They just throw right into the teeth of it. Hey, if you blitz, you got to get home, man. Aggressive call there. If you blitz, you got to get home.
Run this down with a 2-minute warning. Catch your breath. Talk to your quarterback a little bit about what you want to accomplish here in the red zone. It's a great time to do it.
Washington hoping to get a touchdown late in the first half. They are slated to get the ball to start the second half. Low-scoring affair in Landover so far.
More truck owners are switching to Ram, which means more people with holiday spirit are switching to Ram. And more people with not so much. More people who love the cold. And more people who don't. More good Samaritans. More good neighbors. And more people covered in...
The amount of people just make shit up is weird. And gotta hold him to a field goal here. Well, I mean, like, look, y'all want him to blitz. That's what happens. He's on a DB blitz. They threw right into the teeth of it. The reason I'm not a big fan of, like, the heavy blitz stuff is because of shit like that, right? Because when you blitz, you're going to leave somebody wide open. And this team is not good enough at blitzing to get home consistently enough that it's effective. It's ineffective. You end up giving up chunk plays, right? Like, honestly, just play some man. Like, you're better in man, trying to rush 4, maybe 5. But when you try to get 6, overload 1/2 to try to get 3 or 4 on 2, that's where we always run into issues because we're opening up other passing lanes. In danger of giving up another double dip. Nah, they're gonna score before if they score, they're probably gonna score within the next 30 seconds here. The Browns still have 2 timeouts, so you at least get a chance to stop it.
For Washington as they continue to turn it out on the ground. 16 plays, 12 rushes, and this drive, which started at their own 4, is working in the red zone right now. Third down coming up, a timeout on the field. We're back after this from Progressive.
Yeah, with 155 left. Still got 2 timeouts. You stop them here, they're probably going to run it, or they're probably going to throw it, unless they're going for it. All right, let's go.
In the second half, so
3rd and 4.
You're wearing out the defense, and this offense hasn't taken the field in what, like 10, 11 minutes, and they won't for probably close to 45 minutes to an hour in real time before they get back on the football field.
A near 10-minute drive of game time working, but a 3rd down and 4 for Wentz.
Goodness gracious.
Then it's a 1st down. The catch made by Logan Thomas yet again, as he's been heavily involved. Cleveland will use its 2nd timeout, and it's 1st and goal for the Commanders.
Yeah, how about just easy access in these zones? At some point, you got to chip a guy. You can't just let him sit right at the sticks. You got to tighten up, suck up in there, and not let him have that easy access to that.
Now we're getting killed by the Joe Woodisms.
You know, as a defense, at some point, you got to understand the situation. It's 3rd down and 6, 3rd down and 5. I better play a little bit tighter if I'm Joe Woods, defensive coordinator, right there. As you see, talk to my guys. You guys got to suck up on that a little bit. Make sure you contest that throw.
Entering this game, entering today, there have been only 7 10-plus minute drives in the NFL all year. Add one to it with what Washington is doing right now. 107 seconds left in the half. Robinson. Barrels over one defender, Jones. And then gets ripped down by Fields and company.
Use the last timeout.
And another timeout used here by Cleveland, so they use all 3 of their timeouts to try to save some clock, maybe get a chance. College Hoops doubleheader coming up on Fox as the number 2 team in the country, UConn, got challenged the other day in Big East play. They'll get sent to host Creighton, and then the in-state rivalry showdown between Michigan and Michigan State, all coming your way on Saturday, starting at 11:30 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app.
Well, Kevin Stefanski right there watching his defense just get systematically taken apart by this Washington offense. And this is where you want to lean on the big guys up front. This is where you want to lean on that running game. Just keep on leaning on this defense. Keep on giving opportunity to Robinson.
19th play of this Washington drive is
Oh, great play, Grant Delpit.
Grant Delpit trying to lunge in for the score. It'll be 3rd down and goal coming up for the Commanders.
I like the call. I like the call. And just watch this defense reaction on the outside edge here, because you get everybody sucked in on Robinson, and then Delpit from inside cutting across there, making the tackle. Really nice play, putting the head across the thigh. Make sure you get Carson down, but hey, this is Ron Rivera. This is 4-down territory.
Well, when you've thrown in 19 plays already to try to get a touchdown, here's the 20th play of the drive. It is Robinson.
No.
And fighting ahead, he's going to be marked.
They gonna go for this?
4th down and goal.
They gonna go for this?
This might be as long of a drive as any of the players on the field and any of the coaches on the sidelines have ever been a part of.
I mean, it's just amazing. Just grinding. And Joey Sly sitting out there looking for an opportunity. No, we're running it in. We're putting it in here. QB sneak.
We'll see then. It's inside the 1-yard line here. Cleveland can't stop the clock again, so Washington can take as much time as they need to. They'll use a timeout.
What a weird game.
While we have a moment, we'll check in with Kirk Menefee, find out what's coming up at halftime.
Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Show, we'll update you on the playoff picture.
Happy Verizon halftime show, everybody!
Was that necessary?
No, it wasn't! Scared me!
We'll see you at the half.
Petrified and festive are not two emotions that typically are brought into one promo, but we saw both of them right there.
He's got to be careful about sucking in some confetti. Like that could be dangerous.
Loose debris out there. The longest drive in the NFL this season was by Pittsburgh against Carolina 2 weeks ago, 21 plays. This will be the 21st play of this drive, trying to get the last half yard. It's Wentz, lunging, 96 yards later, Washington is finally into the end zone.
Had 3 golden opportunities, get off the field on 3rd down, man. Gotta execute. Can't let a team be on the field for 10 goddamn minutes? Just terrible, man. I mean, what you want me to say? Defense stinks? We know the defense is terrible. No fucking shot, dude.
Timeouts, and they're going to have to kick away to start the second half. See if Watson, Kevin Stefanski, and this Browns offense have any thoughts about taking a shot at any point, or if they just go into the half. It's been a very strong defensive performance on both sides. The 2 picks by Cleveland and the handful of sacks by Washington's defense. Cleveland had a goal-to-go opportunity that they couldn't convert earlier in this half. Here's Jerome Ford, the rookie out of Cincinnati by way of Alabama. He gets hit.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if that got followed up, a 10-minute scoring drive got followed up with like a 15-second scoring drive. Wouldn't that be funny?
Sitting on the bench, that Cleveland offense for quite some time. It felt maybe like 20 minutes or so of real time.
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, it had to be close to that.
Close to half an hour, yeah.
So what do you do here? You take a knee, or you go back in the locker room? That's the only answer here. Victory formation.
That's a demoralizing Washington drive for Cleveland, and then I imagine the knee kind of adds a little salt to the wound. Carson Wentz bouncing back. Great drive to close the half after he had some awful throws to begin this game. It's a 7-3 Washington lead.
All right, well, that's halftime. I mean, like, the story is the offense hasn't been good. The defense was good for like 2 drives, and then they just gave up the longest scoring drive in NFL was the NFL history. At least in the season, like at least this year. So, you know, it's been about what it's been for the last 5 weeks. It's been like this since the Miami game, man. This is just what it's been. Deshaun's looked bad. I think Nick Chubb's looked good or looked good on that one drive. And then defense, it looked good for 2 drives, man. 2 turnovers. And then, you know, that last one, they let him go 97 yards. At least it made them take 10 minutes, right? But 97 yards, right? Like, took 10 minutes off the clock. I mean, took that thing to the absolute last second that you could. Just incredible. Incredible. So, hey, man. It's bad football. Season just needs to end. This team needs to be reconfigured. There's no point in panicking or screaming about it now. This team's fate's going to be no less worse this week than it was last week. If they win or lose, it's not really going to change much. Oh, Russell got a touchdown run. Good for him. And then the Chiefs came right back. So, yeah. This team has problems. We're aware of it. There's really no sense in screaming and shouting about it. There's nothing's literally on the line right now. But I do understand some of y'all, it's New Year's. Y'all been drinking. I don't know what y'all are on right now. Oh, God, that was a terrible pick 6. All right, I'm going to go get something to eat. Fred Heim says 21 play, 96-yard drop. Very Joe Woodsian defense. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, look. If he's here next year, then everybody's got to go with that. If that goes as predictably as we feel like it's going to go. Because you can't justify it. It's not justifiable anymore. He's got to go. No excuse. Justin Klink says officially a fire everyone train, including AB. This is okay. Let's calm down. Let's calm down, Justin. Let's relax. This is just being angry. It's not being productive. We'll see what happens. Ultimately, it does not matter what train you on. You can want everybody fired. You can not want anybody fired. Not really going to influence the decision either way. We're just going to have to wait and see what happens. This is one of those things that are truly out of your control as a fan. It just is. So instead of working yourself up one way or the other, I would suggest just waiting and seeing what happens. Because ultimately, no matter what happens, on some level, you're probably going to have to get on board. Because you're going to want to watch your team. So, you know. Did I ever play football? How much can this team actually and realistically prove? No, I had a heart condition. I could never get cleared. And how much is... Oh, yeah, it's easy for this. Like I said it in my last video, I think I went over this in a more clear way, is how they could get better is just what I suggested. Joe Woods, first coach to be fired mid-game. Yeah, man. I mean, like, look, we would care less if the offense wasn't as bad as it's been. You know what I mean? Like, at some point, we do have to acknowledge, like, you know, it's not like Joe Woods been giving up 40 points a game. Like, he hasn't given up more than 20. You can make an argument and say that he's been actually doing a good job. It's just that when you give up 17 and we can't get more than 13, that's a problem. And before, when we were getting 40, he couldn't give up less than 30. Like, it just is what it is. Who are some reasonable draft prospects? I think Deuce Staley, not Deuce Staley. What's his name? Deuce Vaughn. Deuce Vaughn might be somebody the Browns draft. I haven't really gotten into college football research as far as like the Browns go.
Scott was unveiled today. A little throwback for Washington.
Hey, man, maybe something changes in the second half and they play better, but, like, I have done the misery thing with this team for the last couple of weeks. I'm just over it. You know what I mean? Like, whatever happens at the end of this year, hopefully they win the last two. If they don't, they don't. But let's just figure out a way to get better for next year because this year's cooked. Truly cooked. How you guys' New Year's going? You guys have fun New Year? Oh, some of y'all are Ohio State fans. So let me know. Let me not ask that. See, some of this, too, is like, you know, there's a lot of Browns fans who are also Buckeye fans. I would say like 40 to 45% of Browns fans are Buckeye fans. And y'all bringing y'all misery from yesterday into today. Because there's no reason to be this miserable about this game because it does not matter. who wins this game. Because do you really care if the Washington Commanders make the playoffs or not? I don't. And if the Browns win, cool. Like, I'm happy about it. But, like, it's not like we're making the playoffs. So there's a limit to the happy, right? You know, it would just be nice to win. There's no way people are freaking out this deeply about, like, it would be nice to win. Like, this feels like Ohio State missing that kick. It's bringing a lot of that in here. And the team just visually kind of is a boring watch right now. I'm not going to lie. Like, the team, like, if they were a more fun watch but still losing, I think people would freak out less, too. Serious question, do we need a new play caller or stick with Kevin as head coach but use AVP? Alex Van Pelt is not calling the goddamn plays. He's not any different than Kevin. Like, that's the whole argument that I've had against Kevin giving up the play calling. You're not going to give up the play calling to somebody who's just going to do the same shit that Kevin does. What's the point of even doing that? So if you do give up the play calling, you probably need a new offensive coordinator. It has to probably be somebody that Kevin hires, because if you hire somebody to run the offense for Kevin that Kevin did not want, you're undermining him. You might as well fire Kevin at that point. You know what I mean? Jerry Winker says, Happy New Year's, man. Thanks for doing this and all the breakdowns for us. No problem, man. No problem. It's just my job. I like doing my job. Appreciate it. Yeah, so...
with a 3rd and 17 throw to the sideline to Dotson to really get him going.
You pointed out at the time, like, that's the type of throw that kind of gets a quarterback into a rhythm. You see the plays there. So 2 interceptions for Washington thrown by Wentz, and then that last drive gets them to plus 18 in terms of plays. They dominate possession because of that 11.5-minute drive. It closed the half. As you said, it was the longest of the century. Joe Gibbs and the Hogs, you know these guys pretty well.
Absolutely. A couple of quarterbacks there, and Rip and Williams, and
oh, there he is.
Oh, there he is right there. Got my Letterman's jacket on.
They got the Super Bowl trophies as well. So Doc and
Mark Say from OH today. Look, we ain't got to mock Ohio State fans. They know they lost. Like, eventually they'll appreciate that they had a hell of a game, but, like, to be fair to Ohio State fans, that's like the second time in playoff history they've been a part of, like, a hell of a game where they didn't win. So I understand the frustration.
So that is the new Commanders mascot as they try to kind of flip the script on the last couple of years. They've had organizational issues. We're well aware of that. Workplace culture issues, sexual harassment allegations. Some owners have been very vocal about this organization. They're trying to get a new, what's the phrase, turn over a new leaf, so to speak.
Absolutely, and I was a little bit concerned with Major Tuddy's stance, but you see Chase right there working that, got a little electric stem on that knee, keeping it fresh, keeping it refreshed, if you will, getting himself ready to go.
Washington gets the ball to start the second half. Jared Patterson will get a return from the 1-yard line.
All right, Browns. Let's see if they give up the double dip.
Well, you know, I asked Ron Rivera, how do you keep Carson going, keep that rhythm going here to start the half? He said, we got to run the ball well. He said, that makes the play action more effective and it neutralizes the Browns pass rush. He said, on that first interception, he was a little late on the throw. On the second, on the second one, he said it hung in the wind a little bit. He said, we just got to get his timing down. Defensively, he said, we have to be able to stop the run. We can't let them move so methodically down the field.
Washington Washington offense back out to start at the 27. Here's Robinson. Good job penetrating up front and then surfed out to the sideline, dumping. Forces him out of bounds. Rough start, much better finish.
And that one, the finish, you talk about that finish, that's finished right there. 21 plays, 96 yards, and a touchdown. Incredible drive put together by Washington. And remember, this defense had to play all 21 of those plays. Now they come right back out after halftime, and they've got to establish themselves. Nice start there, getting a -2 first rush by Robinson.
Robinson again, who had 11 carries on that 21-play drive. His forward progress will set up 3rd down and 1-8. Again, just to remind you, this is what needs to take place. The simplest way to get in, win today, win next week against Dallas for Washington. If they win today and the 3 teams that are trailing them all lose, then they can clinch as early as today, but Detroit is already on top of Chicago by 14 at halftime. A loss today by Washington and victories by the Lions and Packers would eliminate Ron Rivera's team from playoff contention. There is a player down for Cleveland's defense on the field. They're tending to him.
Who's down?
I remember
Who's
you
down?
said,
Show.
I won't forget the light checks.
Fox is so terrible for NFL.
I found this on the web.
Fox is the worst, dog. The worst. Somebody goes down. You can't get a spotter to get the name of the player in the NFL. Honestly, I don't know why they hire independent, like they don't just hire independent spotters local to that area, because those are going to be people who not just know the jersey, but like the apparel that players wear, and the body and the build of those players, so they can almost immediately identify. But that's a whole nother production thing. Usually they just hire somebody's son to be a spotter. They can do a shit job. But yeah, just why not? Like, now I have to wonder who's hurt and get off the broadcast to find that out, when you could have just literally showed me. I could have figured it out for myself. Tony Fields. It's Tony Fields. Oh, another goddamn linebacker. Well, who's going to be left to play linebacker?
Sponsored by T-Mobile. Coverage beyond the expected.
Tony Fields, the second-year man out of West Virginia, who's been starting a bunch of games lately, had his left arm kind of pulled back, and you see him going to the medical tent to get tended to. This is a Cleveland linebacking crew that has had a revolving door. Anthony Walker, who was their leading tackle last year, torn quad tendon. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, their second leading tackle last year.
How many losses after 8 games next season would you call for Stefanski to be fired from these 4?
Jacob Phillips both with injuries. It's been a tough spot to fill. Wentz, Clowney's all over.
There we go.
To get rid of it to Williams.
I mean, like, look, I'm not trying to fire the coach in the middle of the season. I don't think that's saving anything. So either you give him the full year or you don't.
Edge right here, but this is where you have.
There's none of this half-stepping. Like, I'm tired of half measures with this franchise. Either you decide you're going to stick with them from all next year, or you don't. But don't go in there, maybe we do, maybe we don't. Maybe we'll give them a 6-game leash here. It's the season next year is too important. You either stick with the guy for a year or you don't. Missed my super chat before. Can we fire all the whining fans? Hey, man, fans going to do what they want. You know what I mean? They're not getting paid to watch these games. They're going to react how they will. Appreciate the super chat, though, Keith.
Once you meet with a TurboTax expert who will do your taxes for you, you're free to do not taxes. Show your eyes things that are not taxes. Show your brain things that are not taxes. Taste not taxes. See if no taxes makes you laugh or cry. What does no taxes smell like? How deep is it? How warm is it? Try on no taxes in pink. Play no taxes so loud that neighbors can hear. Come to TurboTax and don't do your taxes. Meet with an expert who will do them for you, so you can do not taxes.
Well, they're playing like a team that knows they're not in the playoffs anymore.
First from '89, it's my first helmet that I wore when I played here. I want that back.
All right, man.
Property, sir.
Please, offense.
Please return it to our man, Mark Schlereth. Love and Christina picked down in the field. Adam Levine, our great Fox Sports crew. 7-3, Washington leads it. Early third quarter, and Deshaun Watson from the 37. Off the deep drop. That's another completion to a tight end. It's Harrison Bryant.
Let's get him in rhythm.
Fourth completion of the day for Watson, goes for 7 yards. We go down to the field in KP.
Well, yeah, coming into the start of this half, Deshaun Watson with just 23 yards passing. Talking to Kevin Stefanski, he said we have to stay on schedule, we have to get open, and we also have to be on the field. He said defense has done a great job of getting a short field. They haven't been able to do anything with it. Defensively, he said we've given up too many third downs. Now, update for the Commanders, Jonathan Allen has now been downgraded to out with a knee injury.
You see him in street clothes, KP. That's obviously a big loss up front for Washington. They've got that rotation behind him. Second down short, and it is Chubb. Just a yard on the play. Chase Young was right there for the stop, along with John Ridgeway. So now third down and 2 coming.
Chase Young just reestablishing the line of scrimmage right here on the tight end. Watch him reestablish it. Bam, shove him in the backfield right there.
Yeah, David stood no chance there.
Cut back in to the rest of that pursuit of your defense. So when you set edges, when you create a new line of scrimmage, it gives everybody the opportunity to go eat.
It's a rare third and short for Cleveland. Watson keeps
Good run.
has the first down.
That was a good run by Watson.
Touchdown last week.
That was not there. He made it happen.
A kind of run to the left off the edge, so you know he can move a little bit.
Yeah, and then Chase, we talked about Chase Young right there. Gets it. But there you know, you got to play your responsibility. You play the dive. Runs the Jamin Davis has to scrape across. He's got to play the quarterback. Gets a little too wide, and Watson converts on the first down.
Take pass for Watson, and it's off the hands of David Njoku. He has been having some trouble with that as of late. Typically sure-handed receiver, and this was a problem for Watson last week too. Guys weren't making catches, so we've seen some rust, and we've also seen some failures by his guys around him too.
Yeah, and some of that is just the rhythm of a new quarterback and kind of understanding of that. And So they've had some of those struggles, some of those incompletions, and some of those drops. It's really hampered this offense.
This was the drop by Njoku, who could not haul in a would-be fourth-quarter touchdown last week against New Orleans on the final drive, and they were down by 7. There's Watson again on the carry into Washington territory. It got to the point where Njoku actually went up to Watson afterwards and apologized because he knows he should have had that play. Last week, he had a drop. Amari Cooper dropped a touchdown. David Bell had one go off his hands that ended up getting picked up. That was some points.
Professor Chaos, hope I'm having a good New Year. Yeah, I am. Appreciate you, man.
Talk to us about exactly that. Njoku coming up and saying, "I'm out. Sorry, that's on me." Just such a great leader, such a great teammate, and a guy that just really cares about doing it the right way.
The 6-year man out of Miami, Njoku.
There we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. There we go. Hey.
Amari Cooper, big play strike. Goes 46 for the touchdown in the lead.
Nice.
Well, you're just man-to-man out here, and it's Fuller on the outside, but watch the close. You got the whole sideline as part of your, as part of your defense there, so you can push him out of the sideline, but you take that inside path that's a leverage path that's just wrong, and then obviously Cooper down the sideline. That was the first catch to a wide receiver, by the way. First throw to a wide receiver, that outside access to Amari Cooper.
He had completed 2 to his running backs and 2 to tight ends until finally finding Amari Cooper, a 4-time Pro Bowler. 6 times in his 8-year career, he's had over 1,000 yards, including this season, his first with Cleveland. He gets the touchdown, his 8th of the year.
All right, pay attention. You cannot teach this. This girl here, with the power of Visa, she's doing nails at school to pay for school. Why? Because school ain't cheap. She's brushing away school fees, one stroke at a time. Oh. Hold up, Miss Lady. Our girl just turned her side hustle into a full-blown pop-up. Lesson learned. A+, gold star, class dismissed.
Next on Behind the Series.
And all my years of playing, man, that 22 draft was something special.
If I hadn't seen it in person, I wouldn't have believed it.
Where can I even start?
The Monster. It was scary good.
The Outlaw? Come on.
Philly had beef with everyone. And by beef, I mean tender, juicy steak.
It wasn't just a roster, it was a menu.
The Subway Series, the greatest menu of all time.
I'm getting hungry just to... Hey, can we take a... Hey, can I get a sandwich?
Keenan.
Hey, Keenan.
Looking good.
Feeling good. I just found all these cars on Auto Trader.
Wow.
I wait for the best part there, microwave. A dealer is going to deliver this car to our home.
Never leave home. Never leave home.
Oh, it's here. There is one thing I can't do from home. Drive.
Someone stop him.
Well, hey, shit. Touchdown. There we go.
We can't stop until we catch this game. This is life or death.
You're safe. You're going home.
Alert, Missing Persons Unit premieres next Sunday on Fox.
Reset the NFC playoff picture for you as Washington continues to fight for a spot. Eagles are in. They are still trying to clinch the East and the #1 seed. They can do that with a win today. Vikings and Niners have clinched their spots. Bucks can clinch with a win. They're trailing by 4 against Carolina. You see the 3 teams behind Washington, Seattle, Detroit, and Green Bay, all still jockeying for position. A tie can help you, but a tie can also hurt you. That's why Washington needs to win out to be able to guarantee themselves a playoff spot. Here's Patterson, another return. Good special teams coverage this time by Cleveland. Carson Wentz makes his way back out. You know, it's interesting to see Carson Wentz. This was the same spot, essentially, that he was in a year ago with the Indianapolis Colts. They went into Week 17, 2 games left. Listen, you win one of these games, you're in position. They went into Week 18 against Jacksonville, and that typical Week 18 matchup, Jacksonville wins it, right? So they are denied a shot at the playoffs. Wentz gets traded over to the Washington Commanders, loses his starting spot due to injury. Heineke plays well. He's back in. What a story. This doesn't happen all that often in the NFL. To get another second chance like this. Trying to get Terry McLaurin involved. He has had a quiet day with
Calling Carson Wentz getting a second chance is crazy. This man on like his 8th chance.
And I love the call, right? I love getting Terry McLaurin back involved to get him in there. And I think one of the big things you have to understand is, yeah, you gave up the score. You gave up the big play. Don't chase big play for big play.
Right.
For your quarterback has got to be supported. Nice little jet sweep there. Now it's about the running game. It's continue to do what you did at the end of the first half to give yourself an opportunity to possess the ball and put a score on the board.
Oh, there goes some pressure from Jermaine Carter, another DC native from Friendship Academy. Played his high school ball about 5 miles from FedEx Field. He was in quickly on the quarterback Wentz.
Yeah, and you want this tight end to pin and then pull out, right? Get a touch on that. Just don't avoid him so your quarterback can capture that edge. You've got to stop that penetration, stop that rush, because you've got McLaurin, then you've got another crosser behind him, but they don't secure the edge and puts Carson Wentz in instant pressure.
Second down 10. Here's Robinson. Able to slip away. Able to slip away again. And Clowney runs him down at the 48-yard line. He picks up 14 yards after a couple of missed tackles, including one by Grant Delpit. That's a rarity.
Yeah, and anytime you're pulling across, you pull across here, but watch him work in here and then jump back out to the outside. So you feel that. Now it's just about being in traffic.
Boy, John Johnson.
With great vision.
What does he do anymore? He doesn't really do anything.
But then you've got to find your path.
Nice block by McLaurin on Denzel Ward there, too.
Yeah, Terry out there getting it done. And it takes everybody when it comes to the run game.
Quick one-way come back to Dotson, who could not corral it cleanly.
Oh, no. Oh, no, get up there.
Banged up his arm a little bit on that play, maybe his hand.
This is so odd, too, because Dotson, he had a drop last week. But Dotson has got the surest hands on the football team.
Yep.
And, obviously you take your eye off it because you know people are coming down on that bubble screen. You're trying to get back in that tunnel that they're blocking in, and you just take that off.
I think whether it's his hand or his arm, it looks like his hand. Grant Delpit is squeezing that left one out, trying to make sure he's all right. He's playing in the box, as he often does. Here he comes. Here comes Williams. And John Johnson is right
Okay.
there.
There you go, John Johnson.
Johnson played his high school ball at Northwestern High School in Hyattsville. That's about 10 miles northwest of where we're at today at FedEx Field. Old head coach Brian Pierre. Johnson, the 6th-year man out of Boston College, his 2nd season with Cleveland after he started his career with the Rams. 3rd down and 8.
I haven't heard a lot from Myles Garrett to this point. He's standing up in the middle of the line of scrimmage right now.
And they're moving him and Clowney around as they often do.
Here comes Miles. And here's Miles. Right on cue. Right on cue.
This season, closing in on his own Cleveland record.
He's such a physical specimen.
Look at this.
Athleticism, you can start moving him around. You can pick guys. You can do
He
all
just
kinds
walks
of
through 'em.
things to get those one-on-ones, and it's
Just-
so much harder when a guy's coming from 2 or 3 yards off the line of scrimmage that has that athleticism for an offensive lineman. Schweitzer right there, the center, getting beat on the edge.
And we're looking for Garrett to step up. He does. So Tressway, the now 2-time Pro Bowler, will punt away.
Good fair catch.
By Donovan Peoples-Jones, a dangerous punt return. Miles Myles Garrett was benched last week to start the game against New Orleans for an unspecified team violation. He wanted to bounce back this week. That's a good way to do it.
That is hilarious, though, right? When they were like, oh, Myles, where's Myles? Myles ain't done nothing. And then all of a sudden, here come Myles. That's about it. What's chat saying? Is chat upset? Nah, chat seems pretty mild. Who is spamming? Oh, Poindexter.
Second and pressure coming. Lucas gets away, airing it deep, looking for 6. Caught. It's a touchdown. What a throw.
He got it.
73 sacks in Cleveland Browns uniform. Myles Garrett, the #1 pick back in 2017, on his way to his 4th Pro Bowl this year. Got a sack to close out that last Washington drive. Carson Wentz sacked for the 2nd time today. Watson and the Browns from their own 16-yard line. Nick Chubb.
Good run. Good run.
And churns it out for about 9. You mentioned earlier, Jonathan Allen is out with a left knee injury. He's left this game. So they go deeper into the rotation, and it's David Botta, who played 3 games last season for Washington. Half a sack in the preseason this year. Born in Germany, of Ghanaian descent, he played football in the German league for a few German teams, part of the International Pathway Program to the NFL. Making his season debut.
There you go. Good run.
To corral Chubb was Deron Payne, and then the rest of the defense grabs it after 7. It's a first down for Cleveland. You got F.A. Obata next to Bada. FAO is also part of that International Pathway Program. Guys like Jordan Mailata, the outstanding left tackle from Philadelphia, Jakob Johnson, the fullback for the Las Vegas Raiders, and now David Botta, who played for teams like the Munich Cowboys, the Ingolstadt Dukes, and the Schwabisch Hall Unicorns.
Who could forget the Unicorns?
I mean, if you're not a Unicorns fan,
right.
I don't want to know you, all right? They'll send it out to Cleveland. It is Chubb again.
Yeah, this is old Nick Chubb right now. This is the old Nick Chubb.
230-pound frame.
We have not seen this guy in a very long time, since the Cincinnati game, be honest with you, right? This is the version of Nick Chubb we've been missing since the first Cincinnati game.
Understanding you're going to get hit, understanding somebody's on your ankle.
One cut, downhill, decisive, strong, powerful. It's nice getting this Nick Chubb back. And Jerome Ford in the game now. And he's going to have the edge. Uh-oh.
It's just his 8th offensive snap in the NFL. And the rookie out of Cincinnati, the 5th round.
So Jerome Ford in over Kareem Hunt after the first half.
Their ability to run this pin-pull stuff to get to the edge, to capture the perimeter of the defense of Washington. Why do you do that? Well, one, because the guys inside are so stout, even without Jonathan Allen. So we want to make sure we run away from pain. We want to run away from those inside guys, and it's easier to pull a tight end across the formation or hunker down with a wide receiver and crack that edge and create a soft edge for you to turn as a running back.
Watson.
Yeah, just throw it away.
His hands there too. They will rule.
That's a throwaway. Yeah. He threw it at the feet of Harrison Bryant there, so he's just trying to get the ball out of play here. Yeah, Nick Chubb fell. I don't know.
Harrison Bryant was close to it, so I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Maybe ineligible man?
Q, you need some mods for the spammers? Yeah.
So Jack Conklin and Joel Bitonio over there. So that was a little bit of an RPO type play. Nick Chubb, you saw him kind of hit the deck on the play, so that's maybe why those linemen had started to sneak downfield.
Yeah, the timing of that was thrown off right off the bat as you saw Chubb go down by.
I thought I did block him.
And then tying up the tight ends, not being able to get that release in the tight end screen. So, obviously the offensive line time that up. They feel that they take off, thinking that ball's going to be gone.
Now Chubb. And there's Montez Sweat. Wrapping him up. And a little Mayo to that wrap as well. Third down.
You're working in combination right here. So you're going to go here, and you're going to pull around the edge right here. That way you're not responsible for that outside gap of your Sweat. You want to hit down the line of scrimmage because you know you have that backer wrapping around to support the outside. So that's how he can.
It's not letting me block him. Okay, now it just did.
Jack Conklin is actually being helped off the field, although he is walking under his own power. Conklin just signed a 4-year, $60 million extension this week. Two-time All-Pro is going to be with Cleveland through 2026.
And Block Courage Award winner as well, one of the great awards in the National Football League, coming off a ruptured patella tendon the year before, and he's an outstanding player. We talked about the Hogs. Russ Grimm actually worked in Tennessee and drafted Conklin, so he's one of those guys that understands it.
Watson.
Good throw.
He's got Cooper again. Another third down conversion to Amari Cooper. The two big plays through the pass game for Cleveland.
Coop look hurt, man.
He picks up 26 yards there.
Coop been grimacing every time.
Getting in that bunch formation and just working that bunch down the football field, taking coverage away and finding a soft spot. Amari Cooper on the flag route. Beautiful throw, and that's the second time that Watson's had a great throw to the outside to Cooper.
62.
Oh, I know why y'all so stressed in chat today. Y'all bet on the game.
There is Hunt moving backwards to start that run, and then he just gets swallowed.
Oh boy, Kareem Hunt.
Led by David Mayo.
Goodness gracious, Kareem Hunt. Oh boy, I got piss stain, boy.
That is two condiment-based puns strictly for our crew. That is just for us. And we're here to cover the game for you watching at home, but sometimes you got to do a little something for just us.
Yeah, if you're not entertaining yourself, then, what does it matter?
What are we even doing here?
Look at that Mayo. If we get Cheeseman out there with Mayo, then
also Hunt's cat, the cat's not even ketchup.
Oh, good run, Mike.
Woods, the second, the rookie out of Oklahoma, makes his
What's the flag?
catch where you got penalty markers flying in. There's the 6th round pick this year. Former Sooner. We'll check the marker.
Illegal shift. Offense number 1185. We're moving. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second out.
A couple of guys are moving. Donovan Peoples-Jones will get flagged for it. So the game complete award.
So 2nd and 17.
Kevin Stefanski, 40 years of age, Philadelphia's own, big Eagles fan growing up. So I'm sure somewhere deep down inside you love to beat any NFC East team. Getting a shot today against the Commanders. Eagles are actually trailing the Saints which would make things very interesting, not only in the race for the #1 seed, but also for the NFC East crown. A win for Dallas last week changes things a lot.
Good throw. Oh, good throw. Okay, yeah, his feet look much better in the second half. Great throw. Wow. Crosses sash, opposite field, and just dots this. Yeah, he needed that.
To Njoku, nice, really nice execution, and that's the timing that he's getting back as he's been off for so long. 4 games now that he started, this being his 5th, starting to get that timing, that rhythm of this offense down.
Back in the red zone, Charlton looking for the cutback lane, and a nice play by F.A. Obata, not allowing Chubb to get loose.
Right down here at the bottom of your screen. Really nice job just setting the edge. You see the extension right there, and then your ability to get off the tight end.
Oh, Conk's back out there.
We talked about the quarterback and this new offense, and our director Mitch Riggin talked about the fact it's like driving a car, but driving it in Europe. You have to think about it when you're in a new offense. And
Nah, it's quarters.
Quarterbacks have had to deal with this season.
Out route to Peoples-Jones. It's broken up by Danny Johnson, who's had a nice
Hang on to the freaking ball, Donovan.
Benjamin St-Juste.
Really nice job. This film study, just playing flat foot. They call it flat foot read.
Nah. Deshaun didn't do him any favors there, too.
The ball. Really nice.
Yeah, Peoples-Jones should never have to leave his feet.
I like that analogy that you mentioned.
Yeah, it got a little high on him. Nice thing with someone like Watson and second 18 are not automatic drive killers. Yeah, we're hoping to get to that point. We're hoping to get to that point. We see the flashes.
That's when you put a new offense in, that's some of the stuff that the quarterbacks have to do.
Commanders bring pressure. Watson
Got it. Touchdown.
Jones, and Donovan Peoples-Jones is in for a touchdown. Cleveland extends the lead as Peoples-Jones extended to the end zone.
Well, he's just going to come on a shallow cross right here across the field. And I love the timing of this route because he really just slow plays it off the release. And then as they clear out the other side, watch the clear. They're trying to get everybody out to eat that hole right there in the middle. And he just kind of jogs off the line of scrimmage until he gets that hole, then bam, explodes. Perfect throw by Watson.
Cade York tags on another extra point. So now the passing game is starting to get going. The big play by Cooper opens things up.
It's going to be a lot of people act like this third quarter ain't happened. Oh, boy. Well, Watson 2 touchdowns, almost about 200 yards in just the third quarter alone. Ooh, it's coming, buddy. It's coming. It's coming, y'all. It's coming. It's coming. He looks like a completely different dude than he looked like in the first half. A completely different dude. First half, he was all sluggish, slow, late on all of his reads. Not like in the second half. Oh, my God. Like he got that one throw to Coop that Coop just took for a touchdown. And then it just relaxed him. Like, wow. Like makes a huge conversion on a 3rd and 17 or something like that. He was tremendous in this drive. He's been tremendous in this quarter. I'm going to wash my hands real quick. I just ate. Ooh. Try to tell you, man. my New Year's resolution is? Not get injured. I have went through a serious trapezius injury earlier this year. In August before that, I tore my MCL. It was not fun. I'm still wearing a brace because sometimes it's the patella tendon is not stable. So, you know.
Half encompasses back-to-back touchdown drives for Cleveland, much sharper in the passing game now. Suddenly, it's a 17-7 lead for the Browns. They have a chance to play spoiler for a pair of teams, Washington and Pittsburgh, in these final two games. Now you got to break down some of the scores around the league. So, again, this is for the NFC South, essentially. Tampa Bay wins, they win it. Carolina wins out, and they win. This is an important one for Washington, because if Washington loses this game, Detroit wins, and then somehow the Packers at home in the late window beat Minnesota, that means the Commanders are out of the playoffs. So now we're getting into very crucial moments.
All right, defense, let's play. Were they hung over from last night? I don't know, but whatever happened, they got it going late.
You got to come away with points on this drive. The momentum belongs to Cleveland, however you want to quantify it. The score is now 17-7. Here's Brian Robinson. Slips ahead for about 4. That could be the final play of the quarter. We'll see if Washington runs another. Philadelphia trailing New Orleans also again affects the NFC East, a division that is trying to put all 4 teams in the playoffs. They still don't know who the division winner is going to be.
Man-to-man down here. On your screen.
There's McLaurin watched by the rookie Emerson. So that'll take us to the 4th quarter. It's been an up-and-down day for Carson Wentz. Watson is starting to pick it up. Peoples-Jones, the latest touchdown. 17-7 the lead for Cleveland.
I love to have one of my own some.
All right, man. Offense finally looked like how we felt like it should. I'm not going to lie. They took it right up to the line, man. They took it right up to the line because I'm like, man, if they stink for the rest of this game, it's just going to be like this for a while. Like, you know, at least for the rest of the season. But they took that right up to the line, man. Hopefully they finish strong. Hopefully they finish with more than 30. That'd be nice. You know what I mean? But still a lot of football to play. But that was nice to see in that 3rd quarter. I mean, like, I can't not exaggerate anymore. Like, it was nice to see that. We needed to see that. I think a lot of people needed to see that. By the way, it's 600 of y'all that saw that with me, or at least saw me seeing that. So make sure y'all hit the like button. Is Poindexter back? Wow, dude. What a loser. All right, he's banned. He's banned.
Like, okay, I'm on board.
On Coursera, you can earn a bachelor's degree and find over 5,000 courses and certificates from world-class institutions. Join for free at Coursera.org.
You are watching NFL Sunday Ticket.
Washington dominated the 2nd quarter with that long drive, ending in a touchdown. Cleveland dominated the 3rd quarter Take a 10-point lead into the fourth. Now you're getting into crunch time for Carson Wentz, making his first start since mid-October after Taylor Heineke was benched in the fourth quarter last week. Safety blitz coming. Wentz gets rid of it, threw it to the vacated spot, and Jahan Dotson held on for the first down at the 38. That's what
Yeah, you got to stop these DB blitzes.
This blitz coming off the edge, you're just going to throw it right down here where that vacated spot was, as you mentioned, and Dotson sure-handed, but look at the release by Wentz. And remember, this is kind of a must points on the scoreboard drive, and you don't put points up here, and I tell you what, it may be time to think about going back to Heineke if you can't put a drive together that ends in points.
Ron Rivera has used the word spark often when it comes to talking about these quarterbacks. Who can give us the spark? Wentz looking for one downfield, and there's Terry McLaurin. His first long catch of the day, just his second grab of the day. And he gets a big gainer inside.
Come on, let's hold.
23 yards.
Well, it's not
Hold him here.
Because you're going to run that deep over route to McLaurin, and what you're doing is clearing out the top side with that's number 10 Samuel out there, and then you're just finding that hole underneath, and a really nice strike by Wentz. And let's face it, after that first quarter where he threw a couple of picks and he really looked poor, he has really responded and bounced back nicely here so far.
McLaurin catch there from Wentz. Longest play of the day for Washington at 23 yards. Off the fake. Wentz gonna buy some time. Now takes off and runs and turns it into a
That's good.
play. He picks up 4. Let's go down to the field and check in with KP.
Yeah, we saw that big catch to Terry McLaurin, and talking to him in warm-ups about the quarterback change, he said, I've got to make the contested catches. I've got to make the big plays and the tough plays. He said those 50-50 balls, you got to come down with them. We got to make sure that Carson comes out here and gets comfortable.
That's what a leader does. He's the face of the franchise. McLaurin knows it. Ron Rivera knows it. And it's his job to help out the quarterbacks. He did it a lot with Heineke to the point where it was a lot of, how the heck with it? Terry's down there somewhere. It was the theme for those two for a while. Now Curtis.
Oh, good cut.
Nice move to get
He's short, though.
and he gets close to the sticks.
Well, that's Curtis Samuel. I mean, that's what he does. And remember, all the way from Ohio State, he's always been kind of that gadget guy. He's more of a receiver here, right down. But you see him get this and look, move
Oh.
with the foot in the ground, make the linebacker miss and find that first down.
They give him the fresh set of downs, and it
Oh, my God. Grant Delpit saved that touchdown.
4 on the play.
Grant Delpit. Look at this. They showed a replay. Grant Delpit just saved the
I
touchdown.
like that too. Sticking with some of the run. Now, understand if you still have time, run the football. What does it do for your quarterback? Well, it keeps all that play action alive. It keeps the double moves. When you get the one-on-one, the 8-man fronts, the single high safety stuff together. So it keeps your quarterback involved as well. And it's really smart here by Scott Turner, offensive coordinator of Washington.
Much room, Jordan Elliott and Ralph Robinson up. He's had a couple of nice plays today up front for Cleveland. And that's going to set up 3rd down from the 24-yard line.
Deion Jones did a nice job. You know, we just saw him miss a tackle on Curtis Samuel in space.
3rd and 5, get off the field.
Downhill, just establishing himself, really doing a good job.
Boy, Scott Turner looked just like his dad.
Turner and this one.
He got that same scowl on his face his dad used to have.
Converted on half of them so far. That's much better than their 35% average this year.
Get him.
Williams, and he gets closed down by
Deion Jones.
Deion Jones. Excellent angle.
Hey, Deion's been decent, man.
Falcon playing his 10th game with Cleveland after the October trade.
Man-to-man coverage, and just watch him negotiate traffic. This is what you have to be able to see. I mean, he's running through 3-4 guys like Pickett's and making that play, staying high side on Jonathan Williams.
That stop by Jones.
Hey, good stop. Do you think they keep Deion and the spammer is back again? Are you serious? Jesus Christ.
He knifes that through. Mark called it a must-have drive for points. They get 3 out of it. This is a touchdown game. Cleveland leads.
Hey, Ray Rags.
Jake from State Farm. I really want that personal price plan.
Ray Rags, do you want to be a mod? Let me know if you want to be a mod. Because I need somebody to stay on top of this. I'll make you a mod. Thank you, Todd Trop, for the $2 super chat. Make Poindexter a mod. That'd be hilarious. All right. Yeah, Rex, you can mod. Yeah, I just made Rex a mod. So if he pops up again, just ban him.
It celebrates the holidays a little differently. Jeep, there's only one.
During the Jeep Big Finish event, get $2,000 total bonus cash, plus no monthly payments for 90 days on these Jeep Grand Cherokee models. Get ready for winter and welcome home your new Grand Cherokee today.
Hello, Grandma. I want to meet you. That's when I realized we can't let another year go by. This is the plan to finally connect with our family.
All right, Rex and Ray Rags.
Start your financial plan today.
You guys are now mods.
This is the icon of vacations. Icon of the seas, arriving 2024.
It was an accident. Experience what it means.
I just shot someone.
To be accused. Sunday, January 22nd on Fox.
Today's game is sponsored by Royal Caribbean. This is one vacation to every adventure. Come seek.
Starting this Wednesday, 16 celebrities try to endure the world's toughest military training. No special treatment, no prize to survive. Don't miss the premiere of Special Forces, the world's toughest test, Wednesday on Fox. A couple of former NFL stars in the mix. Over the head of 4, out to the 25 comes Cleveland.
All right.
You got a lead in the fourth quarter.
Let's get some points here, man.
They typically do one thing, and that's lead on now the second leading rusher in the NFL. Nick Chubb entered the day trailing both Josh Jacobs and Derrick Henry, who sat on Thursday against Dallas. 93 yards today for Chubb. Now he's moved into second place on the rushing charts.
Chubb pops one off right here.
Top 3 already in his career, seeking his first rushing title. Jacobs and the Raiders play San Francisco later today. James Hudson is in at right tackle.
No, he's eligible.
With an ankle injury. Montez Sweat passing on Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, feel it out of bounds. Todd Trout says Chubb time. I feel it.
That's the way not to get fooled if you're Montez Sweat. Everybody in this stadium just figured they're going to give it to 24 right here. But watch him play the edge. Watch him play the boot keep. He sees it, puts his foot there, keeps his shoulders square, and then beelines it to the sideline to cut off Deshaun Watson on the boot kick. You just can't play it any better than that.
And that boy long and strong.
Let's see if they go on the ground on 2nd and 10. Chubb has the most yards in the fourth quarter in the NFL this year.
Good keep. Good keep by Watt. Good keep.
That's a good play design, a good call by Kevin Stefanski.
Uh-oh. Rex and Ray Rags, the new tag team, the Regulators. Look at this keep. He goes up the middle here. Like ballsy. And then cuts, gets around, little high step, kick it out.
You get blocking like that from your O-line, you can high step a little bit if you're a quarterback.
Came into this season, Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia were the top 3 ranked offensive lines. Cleveland's dealt with injury up front this year, too. Here is Chubb, and he'll pick up about a yard as Jamin Davis runs him down. Especially at the center position. They lost Nick Harris in the first preseason game of the year. Ethan Posick had to step up. He just came back at center last week. He missed 4 games with a knee injury. Wyatt Teller missed a couple of games. Jack Conklin missed a couple of games this year. was Posick, the former Seahawk. 2nd and 9. Take it again. Watson got away from Deron Payne.
Oh.
Getting ready for the second surge. It's Casey Tuhill.
All right, 3rd and 8. He got a yard.
Last week when Chase Young came back, but he's been ready. He's made 2 good plays today.
Well, you should not be this big and this.
My God, he's avoided so many sacks.
Swipe on the hands, you swipe by Teller, and then you go get that sack and you don't get it. But Tuhill is chasing him down. That is a big, strong athlete. As an offensive lineman, what are you doing? You're thinking, man, I don't want to get run over by Deron Payne, so I'm gonna set for him, and then he gives you that double hand swipe. Really nice play.
They set up 3rd and long.
You call a timeout?
So they go from 3rd and long
To 3rd and 3.
So Washington defender sprinting off the field as the
12 men on the field. Wow.
And 12 men on the field. Jack Del Rio displeased, certainly.
Obata trying to get off the field right there.
Only the 6th accepted penalty between the 2 teams today, but it's a key one. As it sets up a 3rd down and 3.
Please don't run with Kareem here.
Watson, step it up, take it off.
You got it.
Dragged down. Casey Tuhill.
Let's go for it. Let's go for it.
And he just stopped Watson a yard shy of the line to gain.
I don't think he was down, though.
Stefanski, you wonder if you go for it in plus territory on 4th down and 1.
Yeah, Jacoby's coming in.
Jacoby Brissett is coming out on the field. Watson got grabbed by Tuhill, so maybe a sneak.
He wasn't down.
Jacoby Brissett.
Challenge that. Yeah, we got it.
Set on the push with a little help from the backside. Looks like he has enough for the 1st down. 6'4", 235-pound quarterback who started the first 11 games this year. He picks up the 1st.
Good job, JB.
Cleveland drive alive.
Well, how about Kevin Stefanski putting his faith not only his guys up front, his offensive line. We talked about the strength-on-strength matchup between O-line and D-line, but saying, hey, I'm going to put in my 235-pound quarterback to push it over.
How did they not know that's a regular thing the Browns do?
Well over 90% of 3rd and shorts, over 80%
Oh, good run.
of 4th and shorts in his career. And Nick Chubb just runs, regardless of down and distance.
There we go.
About 8 there.
Just point of attack, going across tight ends and guards, and just getting downhill. Chubb is so strong. And does that get him over 100 yards? That would be the 29th time in his career.
He already had 100.
2018 that he's been over 100.
It's well over 100.
Second behind King Henry, I believe.
Yep, Derrick Henry most in that span. Number 2 is Nick Chubb.
I thought his name was King. He has a first name, huh?
I guess so. King is quite appropriate for Derrick Henry. He's earned that title. Nick Chubb has earned the title of workhorse. He continues
Yep,
to
first
churn
down.
out yards. This is what Kevin Stefanski wants now. You're in the lead. You're now going to duck inside of 6 minutes to play in the 4th. And it's Nick Chubb time.
Yeah, you've been in 4-minute offense, meaning we're going to grind this thing out. We'll convert first downs with our run game. We're just going to try to take every second off the clock. So when you snap this ball, you see that running clock right there? You want that thing at about 5 or under when you snap it. So you're going to take your time doing this. Eat as much of that clock as it runs as you can.
All 6 timeouts at the coach's disposal, plus the 2-minute warning. Chubb stays in, helping the pressure.
Got it. It's gone. Get in there. You got it. Touchdown. Let's go. Let's go. 3 of them. 3 of them. 3 of them.
Cooper over 100 yards receiving.
Well, you bring pressure off the edge right here. McCain coming off the edge. They pick it up well. and watch him delivering. And what happens when you flash that play action, when you flash that running back, that underneath coverage gets sucked up. You see Mayo, you see Davis, they get all sucked up in there, able to work those feet inbounds and hit that pylon with the ball.
Woo! Catches of 46 yards for a touchdown, for 36 yards, and now 33 yards for another touchdown. Amari Cooper, the top target.
Travel doesn't end at booking. It's getting a discount on your trip, plus points for your future travels. So you can think about the next trip, and the next trip, and the next trip. So wherever you
Yo, well, we were worried about him in the first half, I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like he's straight in the second. I feel like he's straight in the second. I see that they are straight in the second, dog. The chat's now moderated. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. This is what it was supposed to look like, man. Woo. That's what I'm talking about, man. This is what I'm talking about. This is what they needed to do, man. Second half, they need to come out here, play some offense. All of a sudden, things changed. Things change. You know what I mean? You start balling a little bit, things change. Now the defense still got to hold them. 5 minutes left, you up by 14, but we done blew leads even worse than that before. So it's not a guarantee. Happy New Year, New Year, Q. Go Browns. Appreciate that, Soul Train. Welcome back, Soul Train. Well,
what you have Carson Wentz, because the running game is done, and now it's all about your quarterback pushing the ball down the field.
Won't be hearing about Baker Mayfield this week for sure.
Out to the 25 will come the Commanders. We head to Carson Thompson for a game break. CT.
Thank you, Adam. So the Bucs are trailing 21-10, and Mike Evans hadn't scored a touchdown since week 4.
Oh, wow.
He now has 2 today as he hauls in this one. 2-point conversion, no good. Bucs down 5-5. Adam?
Thanks so much, CT. Again, we're keeping an eye on all of those early scores because of how they may affect the game that you're watching right now. Detroit's going to win, so that is tough for Washington because if the score is hold and the Packers win, that eliminates Washington. So I'm sure a lot of you are going to be watching that Minnesota-Green Bay game coming up. Empty set. It is pass time now for Carson Wentz as he finds Logan Thomas. Tackle made in space by A.J. Green. Got a Packers fan out here.
One random Packers fan.
The season came here all the way back in week 7 against Green Bay, the team he grew up rooting for. He beat the Packers to start that 5-3-1 run. It's Wentz's day today. This is a big throw, and Dotson cannot haul it in.
All right, let's get him off the field.
Wentz didn't throw it where he wanted to, and Dotson didn't corral it the way he wanted to. It's 3rd and 4.
Well, when initially he stepped up, he had so much space in the middle of the field. I thought he was just going to take off and get himself about 20, 25. Then he turns one loose and wide open. Dotson on the outside. That's just a poorly thrown football by Carson Wentz.
I felt like we got to have it play for Washington's offense. Clock stops with 4:51. The clock rules change inside of 5 minutes, so when you step out of bounds, it stops the clock fully until the next snap. Keep that in mind. Swing pass, Williams. They've done a lot of this on third and medium today, and this time they're able to convert with 6 yards for Williams. And he steps out, so now you see the clock stop at 4:45.
Time for Miles to eat. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get that second sack of the day, Miles.
Opener, but started 1-4.
Let's break your own record.
Taylor Heineke stepped in. They won 6 of 7 games. 5 of those wins came with Heineke at QB. A rough December where they went 0-2-1 with Heineke at quarterback. Wentz getting the start today as the calendar flips.
Miles! Oh, it's going to be a combo. It's going to be a combo.
Myles Garrett and Taven Bryan each had a hand in bringing down Wentz.
Are these guys going to mess around and get my hopes up again? Some are going to be crazy.
I understand where your check down is. You climb that pocket, just get it out of your hand, take the shallow completion, keep your offense on schedule.
It's been a problem for Wentz today against these elite pass rushers off the edge. Right back to Thomas.
Oh, and he landed in bounds.
You put yourself in harm's way. A.J. Green was ready for it as he pushes Thomas down. That's the 5th Thomas catch of the day.
And that's just another bad decision. We talked about Wentz getting up in the line of scrimmage, finding your check downs.
If we lose to a QB who currently has 110 yards, 2 interceptions on 4th, I swear, I don't think we're going to. I think we're going to finish this out. I hope. Up in the air. Oh! All right, it's 4th. Get the ball back. They got to be going for it, right?
That was dangerous. It was close to Fields on the play.
You're playing man under, and anytime you're in man under, you're trailing technique-wise because you know you have 2 safeties over the top, so it allows you to be aggressive, and that's what Cooper is doing. But man-to-man underneath.
They let the tackles hold Garrett, and now they allow false starts. Man.
Nice break on the ball.
Here we go. 4th down. In a 2-score game, a must-have conversion for Washington. Here comes the pressure. Wentz delivers.
Oh, wow. What a catch.
Cam Sims picks a good time.
What a catch.
First grab of the day for 17 yards leaping in the air.
And it's all about going up high. Look at those hands up top, strong hands. Bring it into the body for the first down. Cam Sims.
Just his 8th catch of the year. The clock continues to move. Wentz, deep ball.
No, it's picked. He got it. Greg Delpit.
Delpit had 2 career interceptions going into last week against New Orleans. He has 2 in the last 2 games. This one clutch.
He's magnificent, brother.
Well, tell it 2 halves, huh? Tell it 2 halves. Tell it 2 halves. Grant Delpit, dog. Delpit is a dog, y'all. Grant Delpit is a dog. We put him in the box. All of a sudden, we find out he might be like really, really good at being a box safety. Ooh. Ooh, Grant Delpit, sir. Yes, sir. Rex Fortune Delpit heard you call him a single and said, bet. Hey, Grant been balling. Grant's been balling. He's been the best run defender on the team. He's been the best coverage defender, safety that we have. He has been balling. This is 2018 Grant Delpit. That boy Warren Sharp is getting cooked.
Because that was the strength of the passing formation. And there it is, Delpit right there to take that ball over. Now you're going to see that contact right there by Emerson.
Should have been a push against Emerson. And then what they're looking at here is Delpit, whether he landed inbounds or not. He got both feet down, but was he finished with the process of the catch is what they're reviewing. 3 picks for Wentz. None of them really feel like very good decisions either.
Delpit earning the bag. Yes, sir.
Cleveland takes over at its own 20-yard line with 3:11 to play.
We talked about the decision-making process of the quarterback, Carson Wentz. He's made 3 really poor decisions, costing 3 picks today.
Now, Nick Chubb trying to churn away the final minutes of the clock. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. And one of them's going to get used right here. We're back after this from Allstate.
I'm the team mascot, and boy am I running late. But I got lead in my foot and spirit in my fingers. Oh, what a hit. And if you have cut rate car insurance, the cost to cover that might tank your season. So get Allstate and be better protected from mayhem, like me. Woo!
All right, now. Let's finish it. Couch says, I still hate kickers. I know you heard from yesterday, man. All right, let's get this iced away, man.
And Washington will use its second timeout. Watson got off to a rocky start, as did Wentz. The second quarter is when Wentz got things going for Washington. Watson really sharp here in the second half. His best so far since the third.
Second half got me hyped for next week and obviously next year. Yes. Get a first down here, Watt.
By Washington. Every Commanders fan is going to be screaming their lungs out for Minnesota to win the late afternoon game against Green Bay.
How mad do you think Heineke is? He had him in position to the playoffs, and they benched him for this? Yeah.
That makes me happy. It's fun because it's bigger than regular. It's bigger than regular. Third down at 10. There's Ford. Not Nick Chubb in there. Instead, it's Ford. And
Watt should have kept that.
Washington will use its final timeout here to preserve as much time as possible. 2:54 to play. No timeouts.
No timeouts.
So this is your schedule next week. I'd essentially tell you to turn on your TV on Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. You're probably going to find Saturday and Sunday. You're probably going to find a football game. But our friends at ESPN and ABC will have their doubleheader next Saturday afternoon and evening. Both CBS and Fox.
Grant Delpit has been really impressive. Yes. Appreciate the super chat, Soul Train.
Typically, NBC takes the win and in game, so that will be a game of import for sure. Turn on your TV on one of your networks. You'll find football next weekend. Bojorquez will punt away. We've talked about Cleveland having some struggles in punt coverage this year. Dax Milne is looking for a big return. Bojorquez drills one towards the sideline, and it will bounce near the 35-yard line. 2:45 to play. He's got a little physical at the end there.
Yeah, that's Percy Butler.
Ripping down Greedy Williams.
Greedy Williams. A couple guys just mixing it up down the sideline.
Those are a couple of Southern boys right there that have Louisiana ties. I imagine maybe they've run into one another at one point. Empty set. Washington desperately needs a quick strike. Cleveland en route to playing spoiler in week 17. Whoa. Not good. Incomplete. 2:40 left. The crowd lets him know.
Yeah, at this point, I don't know who's going to be the most unpopular guy in Washington right now. Is it going to be Wentz or is it going to be Ron Rivera for the decision? This almost looked like it. Initially, I thought maybe it hit off somebody's helmet because it was so errant. But that was just an airmail over the head of the intended receiver.
Average free safety, but really, really good strong. Yeah. False start. Yeah, they worn out.
And I've been there. Before because you know what's going on right now. The defensive linemen don't give a rip about the run. They couldn't care less about reading keys. All they're trying to get is a garbage sack right now because they know you're throwing it. And you're playing coverage, right? You got guys that are going to be deep in that defensive backfield. These guys are going for stats right now.
This is a classic pin your ears back type of moment for that front.
Those are stat finders.
Oh. Oh boy. Oh boy, the Boo Birds are out.
2:36 to play.
You know, I get that it's a drop and you want your guy to catch it, but you can see Wentz right there, man. I put it down on your. I got to put that out in front of you, give you a chance to run with it to the sideline, get out of bounds, and I put it in your right knee. You got to turn down and try to get that thing. It's just another, just purely placed ball.
Wentz to Thomas. He's tackled inbounds. Clock will continue to move. A.J. Green on the stop. And essentially, here's your ball game. For all intents and purposes. Season was already in the balance for Washington. Now it's hanging by a thread.
Haha, finally check, call for a false start, and again.
A whistle and a penalty. And if it's against Washington, this could potentially be a run-up.
Timeout.
Timeout.
Cleveland.
Timeout by the Browns instead before the 2-minute warning.
I'll be right back.
24-10, Cleveland on top. 2:08 to play. Back on. Adam Amin, Mark Schlereth, Christina Pinktown on the field. This was going to be the most parsed decision over the course of the next few days here in Washington. You heard the word spark used all season long. We want to start Taylor Heineke. He gives us a spark on offense. We're bringing Carson Wentz back to start to give us a spark. That was the word that Ron Rivera used, and that's going to be a tough decision that's going to be discussed.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And they were 2-1 in their last three, so it's one of the reasons they went back to Wentz.
False start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Clock was already stopped, so no runoff there.
Yeah, again, we get back into what we talked about. You know, you're so worried about that pass rush and giving up those sacks, and you're sitting down at 4th down and long now, and you got to find a play somewhere. I mean, you got to find a big play.
All right, let's close it out.
You got to take a shot.
It's 4th and 10 now?
Like you said earlier, Adam, you're hanging on by a thread right now.
Here comes that rush for Cleveland. Wentz,
Almost picked off again.
was looking for McLaurin.
It would have been better. It's better that he doesn't catch it.
Third-round pick out of Mississippi State.
And that's game, y'all.
With 2:03 to play, and the ball and the lead belongs to Cleveland.
Bringing that pressure, right? You're 4th down and long, make him get the ball out of his hands. Zero platform to throw from. Great coverage on the back end. Emerson attacked on the football in the air. He got safety help over the top, so he knows he can take a chance. And
This is a talented back end. They got a 2nd-round pick playing special teams in Greedy Williams. They got Ward and Delpit, a good signing in Johnson. Newsom's a 1st-round pick. Emerson they got this year in the 3rd round. D'Anthony Bell has made some special teams contributions this year. There's Ford to take us to the 2-minute warning. Browns trying to close their season strong. The Commanders, who needed this win desperately today, en route to a loss.
Chevy Silverado factory lifted trucks. Where will they take you? Silverado ZR2, Trail Boss, and Custom Trail Boss. Because adventure is everywhere.
Well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing for 60 months on all 2022 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab pickups, or get $1,500 total cash allowance on this Silverado with a 2.7 liter.
Hey man, let's give credit to the real MVP. John D. Podesta called the greatest game of his life. You know what I mean? Out here showing everybody that, you know what, just because he did baseball don't mean he not a football guy. You know what I mean? Shout out to that. Greatest game plan I've ever seen in the 2nd half. They just had to ring up John D. Podesta like, what should we run? You know what I mean? Oh, man. Drop a like, y'all. Drop a like. Depot was balling today, baby. All them dumbass conspiracy theories I had to hear all week. Oh, man. We got super chat here. Do we still keep Woods at the hell no?
Look on his face kind of encapsulates the day for the Commanders.
Oh man, we got Chase out here with the fat lip. That has to be tough for him. You know what I mean? Watching his alma mater take a fat L last night, then come here, try to play some football, and then he taking a fat L. But you know what? We still got Denzel Ward out here balling.
Spark of the day, but they have not done a whole lot outside of that. The Giants have already won today, so they have clinched a playoff spot with their 9th win of the season. In fact, let's get a few more from Carissa Thompson. She's got a game break for us.
I sure do. So the Bucs were down by as much as 11 in the 4th when Tom Brady goes up top. Mike Evans, the recipient of this one again, his 3rd touchdown on the day. 2-point conversion good. Up down by 3. Adam?
So we may see another playoff spot clinched. If the Bucs hold on, they will get the number 4 seed. And they'll win the NFC South. The Giants have locked up a spot with their win over the Colts today. The Cowboys are already in, and the Eagles are losing to the Saints right now, so the NFC East division title is still up for grabs. Haven't had a back-to-back winner in a long time in the NFC East, so there's a shot for Dallas still. if Philadelphia ends up losing, Minnesota's game today becomes that much more important against Green Bay because they're still in line for the #1 seed. Philadelphia needs to lose out. Minnesota needs to win out. And again, if you're a Commanders fan and you want this team to be in the playoffs, you're cheering for Minnesota. And the question next week against Dallas for this Washington
Mike Evans has 47 fantasy points. Oh my God. Well, he just won some fluke championships for some people out there. Or you got screwed. We took a game-winning lead like a couple weeks ago. You know, the Browns have been 4-2 the last 6 weeks, right?
There was some talk about whether they rest guys next week, but they're still in the
Maybe that's why Chud's been good today, because Georgia won. Yeah, probably.
Coming up in the playoffs, if you can get that #1 seed, you have an opportunity then to rest your guys at that point.
I mean, he's also Nick Chubb.
Minnesota would still have Minnesota, but I mean, there's still a lot to be decided because you get that East crown, you jump a bunch of spots, and now you're hosting playoff games rather than being on the road. Because you'd have to go on the road as the #1 wild card at Tampa Bay, regardless of the Bucs record. That's a huge game for Dallas now all of a sudden next week if Philadelphia ends up losing today.
See, this is why I let you handle the heavy lifting, because there are way too many scenarios for yours truly.
We're still, I mean, listen, we're all trying to navigate right now.
Happy New Year, Q. Have some victory wings. Appreciate the $20 super chat from Dead Sea Salty. Oh, French chef's kiss. Chef's kiss.
Perfect punt by Bojorquez, and that pins him at the 5. Still a couple of minutes left in that Bucs-Panthers game, right? So when we finish up here, we'll make sure he gets some bonus coverage in key games still going on in this early window.
And if you're a Bucs fan, you've been waiting for offensive production all season long. All of a sudden, Brady to Mike Evans for 3 touchdowns. Macy, it's got to make you feel a little bit better about all the struggles you've had throughout the course of the regular season offensively.
Correct. There's Williams. It's thrown down by Tony Fields. And the clock will run out on Washington here. There is a flag thrown to stop it with 12 seconds left.
There's no foul on the play.
No foul. They pick it up.
No, that's not a foul. That's just called good old-fashioned violence. Football. That's been that kind of day for Washington against this Browns team.
Kevin Stefanski's team wanted to win their final 2 games, wanted to go into the offseason with some rare positive vibes. And they're going to pick up a victory by a final of 24-10. We'll wrap things up and give you all the scenarios coming up next.
Browns beat the Washington Commanders. They advanced to a 7-9 record with a chance to go 8-9 and take Pittsburgh out the playoffs, depending on what happens in their game later on tonight. But the Browns win a game on the road. Deshaun Watson, I think, is the story of the day. The story of the day is Deshaun Watson. I mean, like, Grant Delpit played well. Obviously, other players played well. But the one that everybody's been watching, the one that everybody's been fixated on is Deshaun Watson, right? The high-priced quarterback. And I think he still only had like 100 or something passing yards, right? Yeah, so 169, 3 touchdowns, which was nice. Very nice, very efficient day. Only had to throw the ball 18 times. Nick Chubb, 14 carries, 104. Now, a lot of this is because the Browns just didn't have that many offensive possessions as well, right? This was a very slow-paced game. If we look at it, I think the Browns might have had 6 offensive possessions. Let me see. Let me look at the box score. I mean, the team stats. Yeah, the Browns only had 7 offensive possessions. Is that true? Wait, no, that's not right. That's not right. Total drives. Okay, so 10 possessions each. So just for whatever reason, just a low output day for the offense. Didn't matter. 3 touchdowns for Deshaun. The passing game really got going. Coop with a 3 reception, 100-yard day, 2 tutties for Coop. Where's Coop at right now as far as his numbers are concerned for this year? Coop is what? How many yards this year? Oh, Coop just got over 1,000. Coop just got over 1,000. Yeah, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. He should probably be in the Pro Bowl. I'm thinking he should probably be in the Pro Bowl this year. And then Nick Chubb right now for the season, 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. Second in the league in rushing yards, which is unfortunately kind of where he's been at for a while now. And then Deshaun with 3 touchdowns, no interceptions today, gets to 5 touchdowns, 3 interception. In his 5-3 touchdown interception ratio, and he'll be at about 800 yards here. So a chance to add to that number against Pittsburgh next week. How many sacks has he taken? You know, that's where Deshaun was great today. Even in the first half when he started slow, he was able to break a lot of tackles, get loose, and just not take bad sacks. And then in the second half, when he started getting going when it comes to his decision-making and throwing the ball, he really dominated. So, yeah, that's – yeah, he has 1,100 because they don't add 1,109. So he's over 1,000, 1,109. He's having a pretty good year. I don't know. Is that – I think he's never got 1,300. Like, he's never had crazy numbers, and I think he might be the closest he's ever been. Let me look at his career numbers. Let's see what Coop's career numbers are looking like. Game log. Nah, this is not the best way to do it. Let me do it on a PFR. Yeah, so, he's close to his career high. He's never had over 1,200 yards. He has a chance to break that. Wait, he had to have more than that in Oakland, right? Yeah, I hate how PFR post they like changed it. Okay, rushing and receiving. Okay. Yeah, so he's never had over 1,200. So if he has a 100-yard game next week, that will be his career high in receiving yards. Dope. So he's close to getting his career high in receiving yards. And I believe with 9 touchdowns, he's at his career high in receiving touchdowns. So Amari Cooper gets traded to Cleveland for a 5th-round pick, has a career year. Very good. Very good. Let me put that out there. So Coop's been tremendous. Yeah, the thing with trading Kareem Hunt is I don't think anybody wanted Kareem Hunt for the reasons that we're seeing right now. So Coop, he's on track for a career year. Good for Coop. I believe Nick Chubb's pretty good, pretty close to a career year as well. Because he put up some insane numbers early in the season. I mean, some truly insane numbers. What is he at? So his high, so he would have to, he has to get over 100 yards next week to break his career high because 19 he rushed for 1,000, like almost 1,500 yards. But touchdowns, he's at his career high. If he scores a touchdown next week, he will be over his career high. in rushing touchdowns. Yeah, in rushing touchdowns. Yep. Rushing touchdowns. He'll be at his career high. He's always been a double-digit touchdown guy pretty much for most of his career. So Chubb, again, tremendous player, having a tremendous year. Deshaun Watson looked like he's coming back into form here with this game. I can't believe he only had 100 and something yards. Got a super chat here from Soul Train. Cooper hit 1,004 before the game at 1,109. Yeah, so if he gets, he doesn't even need 100. If he gets 91 yards, he gets a major career milestone. So I'm pretty sure he'll try to get it to him, especially against that Steelers secondary. So he has a huge chance. I mean, Carson Wentz was absolutely god-awful in this game. No Browns turnovers today. Yeah, the Browns went +3 in turnovers, I think, for the first time this season. Got 3 turnovers and not give the ball up. Played well, and look what happens when you play well, don't give the ball up, and play fundamental football. You don't lose games. You don't lose games. Yeah, I know the Coop stat was like, it's been corrected multiple times, guys. My point is he could have a career high if he gets 1,200 yards. He's never had 1,200 yards. Was it 1,109 now? Yeah, so one of the things that I think is clear, now just leaving the stadium, thank you, Ron Rivera. I knew Ford was going to show off today. Let's effing go, Alexander Bly. Yeah, this is what we were waiting to see. I mean, we felt like last week he really should have had that. Now it just popped up. This is what last week in that game versus the Saints, it felt like he should have had a 3-touchdown day. Today he has that 3-touchdown day. Because the conditions are better. Guys are catching the ball. He was just seeing busted coverages a lot better. He was a different guy in the second half than he was in the first half. He was more of what I saw versus the Ravens and versus the Saints than anything. Yeah, Hunt's got to stay off the field now. I think it's time to move on to Jerome Ford and maybe even draft the Deuce Staley or somebody like that to be a receiver out the backfield and incorporate them into the offense more. I think it's time. The time has come. Defensively, Perion Winfrey fine today. Jordan Elliott pretty good today. I thought Alex Wright was fine today. Miles was Miles, which means really good. Clowney was cool. Reggie Ragland, big thumper. Love him in run stuffing. He's not going to be a coverage guy, but he was just willing and able to hit anything he wanted to. Like, look, a dude who loves to get contact, and he was out here just doing that. Grant Delpit is a story because, look, yeah, the 2 interceptions are going to take the headline for Grant Delpit, and that's cool. Right? That's all good and all. The interceptions, like, I'm always going to be appreciative of them. But don't let that distract you from the fact that Grant Delpit has been a beast in run defense. Like, if we look at not just I know he's tied for tackle leader, or he's the tackle leader of the team right now, and that's not great for a safety. But if we look at guys who get tackles within the first 5 yards of a run, I bet you Grant Delpit is leading that category. So many plays he made today that I felt like were bigger than the interceptions, where there was one tackle he made that really just stopped the touchdown straight up outright. I think that drive ended in a field goal. He's made a couple of plays like that in the run game. Like, he has matured not just as a guy who can get an interception every once in a while, because that can fool you, right? Like, I've talked about Jesse Bates is one of those guys where the interception numbers are kind of fool's gold, because you look at Jesse Bates, it's not even somebody Cincinnati wants to keep. They invested a first-round pick on Dax Hill. So those interception numbers can fool you when we're talking about safety. But it's the stuff in the box. He is what we thought John Johnson would be, straight up. And now that he is that, John Johnson really doesn't have a role on this team anymore. But that's what he is, right? That guy who can get in the box, play a little linebacker, be physical, get in the run game, be a great run defender, and then be athletic enough that if you need him to cover a good amount of grass, he can. He's not a free safety. His instincts aren't great at free safety, but his box instincts are amazing. He has great instincts on the box. He is a much more sure tackler than he ever got credit for coming out of LSU. Oh, my God, Sam Darnold is making a hell of a play right now. Oh, my God, Sam Darnold just made a hell wow. Oh, my God. Look at this by Sam Darnold. If you're still got Fox on, he spins out of like 5 tackles, stays on his feet, gets parallel with the line of scrimmage so he doesn't get illegal throwing. And then he makes a completion to Chuba Hubbard. All in the last, like, minute of this game. Down, what, 9? So it's kind of hopeless for him. Oh, boy, then he almost threw one of the worst interceptions I've ever seen. Okay, but, yeah. I talked about what I feel like can fix the defensive tackle stuff, right? Perrion showed enough. Maybe you can keep Jordan Elliott, and maybe you can keep Taven Bryan. But if you can add a couple names in there, maybe a Dalvin Tomlinson is somebody you can add on the cheap. And then you can also throw in, you know, a big name. Right now, everybody's looking at Daron Payne. That could be something that you could go for. But I think more realistically, you know, let's keep our eyes towards a DeForest Buckner. You know what I mean? Keep our eye on what happens to him. I think he can be had for cheaper than what you would think. And he might be available given his cap situation, given what his team is on right now. So, yeah. Yeah, I think the problems the Browns have are so fixable. They're so fixable. They're clearly just going to need to switch defensive coordinators. It's fine. And they're going to need to go into next offseason, you know, with some changes with what they look at certain positions, right? Get more receiving running backs instead of pounders. You know, let's add a guy like DJ Chark. You know, let's add some size in that wide receiving room with some speed. You know, it's not very difficult to figure out what they need. And once they get that, it's not super hard to attain, right? We're not talking about signing a Myles Garrett caliber player. We're talking about signing DJ Chark and hopefully getting a DeForest Buckner, who's a really good player. But, like, those guys are obtainable under 20 mil. You know, the offense, look, man, Deshaun needed to get his footing in the first half, and I think the last 4 games, or if we go back his last 5 games, right, because he's played 5. The first game was a bit of a mess. The second game, you could see, okay, he's just learning a new offense. And the third and fourth game, I felt like he played well in those 2 games. I backed that up with my film breakdown of it. And then today, look, bad first half. Came back in the second half and made that bad first half not matter at all. It's irrelevant. Like, somebody's going to try to bring up the first half. It doesn't matter. When you throw 3 touchdowns in the second half, it doesn't matter. And you win the game by multiple scores, it doesn't matter if you had a slow first half, especially when you weren't the one throwing interceptions. This is what it's supposed to look like, and it's honestly supposed to look better. Deshaun should have had a couple touchdowns, right? He should have scored on that corner. He should have had 4 touchdown passes today because he should have threw the corner to David Njoku. Or he should have been quicker on that draw to get the touchdown there because it was there on that draw play. Whether you like the play call or not, it was there. He doesn't make those 2 mistakes. They probably get 4 touchdowns in this game. Who knows how the flow of the game goes after that? But instead you give that up. You give up that 10-minute drive right after that, and that kind of changes how you feel about the game. But you just came out in the second half all firing, and it didn't matter. Denzel was great. Grant Delpit, great. Where Grant Delpit's been great, I think deserves more credit because it's not just the interceptions. It is the run game stuff that intrigues me the most about him. It's unfortunate we have no linebackers left. Cody Donkey says, Happy New Year's, Q. Great way to start the New Year's with the Browns win. Absolutely, always. Absolutely and always. Appreciate the super chat, bro. But the talent is there. Oh, man, the boy missed the field goal. The talent is there. That game's over. The talent is there for the Browns. The talent is there. They just need some small pieces to get these things in line, and then they'll be fine. I thought Reggie Ragland was a good thumper today. I thought he was really good thumping and bumping. He's a big, heavy linebacker. He's honestly makes more sense in a 3-4 than a 4-3 because he's a clear so somebody can follow. He's more of the fullback of the defense kind of role, if you have to characterize it anyway. Let's go around the league real quick. 24-27, the Chiefs won over the Broncos. 31-3, the Jaguars destroyed the Texans. The Browns, as we know, 24-10 over the Commanders. The Falcons, 20-19 over the Cardinals, who continue to free fall into death. The Saints beat the Eagles. So that's interesting. I know there was no Jalen Hurts, so that's the end of Minshew mania. 41-10, the Bears get dumped on by the Lions. 39-10, 38-10, my bad. The Giants just dumped on the Colts. The Cowboys beat the Titans 27-13 on Amazon on Thursday night. And the Dolphins are down by 2 points with the ball. Minute 3 left against the Patriots in a game that I'm going to have to switch to manually. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, and the Dolphins lost that game. The Dolphins lost that game. So, wow. What does that mean now? Does it mean the Dolphins are almost... Wow, the Dolphins stink, man. They are fumbling. They're not going to finish 500. All that talk about the Dolphins, man, how good they were playing in the middle of the year, and now they're not going to finish 500. Crazy. Crazy. Ray Rag says, I think Tua needs to play the rest of the season no matter where the Dolphins go. 3 concussions, 1 season is no joke. Yeah, the Tua needs to be done. And honestly, like, if you're the Dolphins, like, what do you do going forward? Like, yeah, I don't think Tua's the guy you can bet on. He's had too many head injuries, and even when he's out there, the potential's not great. Yeah, like I don't know if Tua needs to retire. That's a decision for him and his doctors to come up to. Like, you know, you got to think about quality of life and all that. But 3 concussions like that, like, and not just three bad concussions like that, he don't need to play for the rest of the year. There's no reason for him to play anymore because, like, what? Even there's no they're gonna lose out. And yeah, it's just rough, man. It's rough. It's rough. And the Dolphins don't have a first round pick this year. So they can't even get the shot. I mean, they can't even get a Lamar if they wanted to, right? Get that upgrade. Yeah, we'll take it to 4:30. I'll give 15. Yeah, we'll do 15. Let me get some water first though. Per Mary Kay Cabot, Kevin Stefanski said Jack Conklin had an ankle injury and Denzel Ward has a shoulder injury. Unfortunate, but you know, hopefully they're injuries that you can get back from relatively quick. They don't really have to miss that much time in the offseason. Only 1 game left, so probably not going to play. Probably going to play it safe. You don't want a minor injury turn into a catastrophic injury, right? So seems smart. And Detroit Lions are in the playoffs right now. Wow. The NFC is garbage. Yeah, let me get some water. I'll be right back. All right. Let's finish strong. Someone say edibles aren't my jam for real. All right. Got $10. Okay, let's get to 8 wins this season, says Sly. I'm not doing a line. Get the fuck out of here. Peter C. Risk with a $10 super chat says, don't see what it said, but appreciate the super chat, Peter. Yep. All right, so let's recap this game for the last, 9 minutes. See, I kind of talked a lot about Watson. I talked a lot about, Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb. You know, he looked like Nick Chubb again. He wasn't hesitant going downhill. He was just one cut go, clear vision, seeing it well, really played really well. The same feel like I feel like, look, Nick Chubb, even bad Nick Chubb is better than it's still top 10 running back. So take this under that understanding. But he ain't looked like Nick Chubb since the first Cincinnati game. This is the first time I've been watching him where I'm like, this is the real Nick Chubb. You know what I mean? Like, he looked like what we remember Nick Chubb looking like, right? Not some guy who can kind of get to 100 yards on a few carries, like the dominant, unstoppable beast Nick Chubb. And it's a high bar to step for somebody, but when we're talking about somebody who has hopes to be a Hall of Fame caliber running back in an era where we just don't do that no more, that's what the bar is going to be. And yeah, he's been great. He was great in this game. Huge. Broke off a couple big runs, really was able to stabilize that drive where Deshaun got that first throwing touchdown of the day, and really did a good job there. Feel like David didn't really do much today. Neither did Peoples-Jones. Defensively, I kind of went through everybody. Yeah. Perion Winfrey, great effort today. Great effort. Not the best execution in the world, but you can build off that effort, right? You can really build off of that effort. I felt like all the defensive linemen played well today. We know Miles is always going to bring it, but sometimes you need somebody else to come in and bring it too. Felt like Jordan was there. I felt like Clowney was there all game. I felt like we got solid efforts from everybody. Now it's about going to Pittsburgh and finishing out the season strong. Now you know you're not going to finish this year with Deshaun under 500. You have at worst the chance to go 3-3. At best the chance to go 4-2. That's kind of where I felt like the Browns would finish with Deshaun. We'll see if they get to 4-2. But yeah, that's going to be what the hope is, going to Pittsburgh and beat Pittsburgh. And if Deshaun goes into Pittsburgh and beats Pittsburgh, that'll go a long way to having people shut up about other quarterbacks, right? We won't have to have QB envy, right? One of the things that was annoying about last year in the offseason as somebody who covered the team was the amount of quarterback envy we were forced to have because of the disappointment that Baker Mayfield was that year. You know, we were forced to look at guys like Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Pat Mahomes and go, man, why can't our guy be that good? I don't want to have that envy no more. I don't want to be out here thirsting for another quarterback or thinking about the draft or anything. I want to have one of those guys. And now I think we have one of those guys in Deshaun Watson. So good on him. Way to turn it around in the second half. Didn't need a ton of production from the yard standpoint, but the yards don't matter. The points do, though, right? Like, we can talk about the yards all they want. Jameis Winston once led the league in passing yards, and we've seen Deshaun Watson lead the league in passing yards before. Also didn't have winning seasons those years. You can get as many yards as you want. 300, 400, 500. If you ain't getting the touchdowns, you ain't talking about nothing, right? And the Browns were converting in the red zone this week. That's what I needed to see, right? Because if we have to kick field goals, but we get to the red zone all the time, that's not what you want. You want to score the touchdowns. The Browns have a very obvious, very wide path to be a very good football team next year. What we are trying to figure out isn't what's going to make the Browns a 10-win team next year. The Browns could run back Joe Woods, this whole staff, this whole team, and they will probably win 10 games next year. That's not what we're trying to figure out. What we're figuring out is how this team can go from a 10-win team to a 12-13 contender. You need a new defensive coordinator, and you need some new pieces on defenses, and you need some new pieces on offense. You know, we're not trying to completely reconstruct this team. You know, this is all, like, if this team ran it back next year with Deshaun, they will win 10 or 11 games. I want to see them get to 12, 13, be a top seed, and get to the Super Bowl and win it. And this is what we're talking about for next year at least. Peter C. Riss says, $10 super chat. We got to get bigger on defensive interior. I don't care about the big names. Yeah, man, just get some bigger guys. I mean, some of the names are going to be big names just because they're very good players, right? DeForest Buckner is a big name because he's a very good player. But if you could, like, however you fill that gap, you got to fill it. You know what I mean? You don't want to go in next year with the same problems, because these are the problems that the Browns had this year. Even if Watson played the whole year, these were going to be the problems that are going to stop them from making the playoffs, or not making the playoffs. They would have made the playoffs if Deshaun started the whole year. But these were going to be the problems that were going to stop them from winning a bunch of games in the playoffs, right? The defensive line play, the inability to stop the run. These are the things that would have slowed them down when it came to trying to achieve higher goals. Now you know. So now that you know, you can't just sit by and put your hands under your seat and not do anything about it. Now you have to take action. You know what I mean? Let's make some changes. Nobody, like, the head coach doesn't need to be fired, but the defensive coordinator probably does. You know, maybe switch out some personnel here and there. Maybe get some different personnel, wide receiver, and maybe get some new voices in the room, right? You need a refresh. This team needs a refresh, but it doesn't need a reset or a reboot. Just a little soft reset and refresh, and then they'll be all right. So a lot to look forward to with this team. I thought the offensive line also played well, right? Being able to run the ball at that clip with this good of a defensive line, I felt like it was a big sign. We'll see what happens next week in Pittsburgh. But until then, I think I'm going to sign out for today. Enjoy the rest of my New Year's. A video will be out later today as well, so look forward to that. But until then, I want to thank you guys for watching. Everybody, please have a great day. Have an even better night.